Think of the respect.
No, no, no.
Think of the Tony.
Hello, all you theater lovers, both out and proud and on the DL, and welcome back to Broadway Breaks Down, a podcast discussing the history and legacy of American theater's most exclusive address, Broadway. I am your host, Matt Koplik, the least famous and most opinionated of all the Broadway podcast hosts. And speaking of theater lovers, you know them, you love them. They are regs and friends of the pod. They are our dear Will and Rachael Anderson. Rachael or Will Anderson, I don't know how you guys do your billing on the marquee. I don't care. But most importantly, you know them as the theater lovers. They are here to talk to us about the Tony nominations of 2026 and our reactions to them. Rachael, Will, welcome back.
Hi, Matt. Thanks
Hello.
for having us.
It's so good to be here.
I always am never sure how to do your intro because Will has the shorter name, but yours is alphabetically first. So I'm always like, how do we do this?
I don't care what you call me, just call me.
Oh, that is the perfect reaction. That is how I know you're into theater. Guys, it's fucking Tony Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo, and Tony nominations. Steer clear of Hell's Kitchen.
They laid it
Cinco
on
de Paul de Mayo.
Cinco de Paul de Mayo. Wow.
Write it down and post it before someone else steals it.
That's
Come on.
Hold on. Say it again.
Cinco de Paul de Mayo.
Cinco de Paul de Mayo.
Okay. This is the teaser.
How are we feeling this morning?
Feel good.
You know, I feel like overall it went kind of how I not wanted it. It went how I expected it to go with very few exceptions. So I've seen a lot of reactions online of people being like, wow, like what happened? And I was like, what do you mean what happened? Pretty much exactly what everyone expected. I don't know.
Yeah.
The surprises were fun though. But mostly I'm tired. It's early. Why are we doing this early?
Because I'm an insane person.
Not you, the nominations. Not the nominations. Knowing that everybody like works nights, it's actually kind of cruel to do it so early in the morning. I feel like drop them at midnight. You know what I mean? While everybody's still up.
Yeah, I would probably do that too. I feel like if I were to do them, I would do them either like right after everybody shows when they're extraordinarily tired, or like 5 a.m. when no one's awake. I want no one to know that they've dropped, and then I want them to go about their day. And as they're at like Amy's Bread on 9th Avenue, someone comes up to you and goes, "I'm so sorry. You must feel terrible right now." And you're like, "Wait, what happened? Did my mom die?" "No, you weren't nominated for best sound design of a play, sweetie."
Again.
So,
that keeps happening to me, by the way.
Well, you know, the truth is, Rachael, you do wonderful work, but your reputation as a person just gets in the way.
Really bad. I know I got to work on that. That's what everybody keeps telling me. Wait, did we discuss the elephant in the room that is our dog Dot on Will's lap? Guys, Dot's here.
Hi, Dot.
A permanent fixture of Will's lap.
Yeah, she must be close at all times.
And when
otherwise she starts barking.
Yeah, I was going to say, and when she barks, you'll know that she means it. Whatever we're talking about at the time, she's got something to say. But Dot's here.
Yeah.
Dot Surratt.
Dot's going to be able to, she's going to be heard on the mic because of your great sound design on a play, Rachael. So
fantastic.
And the play is my life. Anyway, enough about me.
But we do have to get to you because we're going to get to sound design of a play at some point. But I figured, okay, how do we want to do this? Do we want to kind of go with some immediate headlines, things that caught our eye, things that caught our attention? Or do we kind of want to work our way down or up?
Let's do everybody's favorite surprise.
Great.
And then
I'm assuming on an emphasis on it being a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be either way.
Sure. Well, we're all relatively kind people. So even if someone got in who we maybe weren't expecting and at the expense of someone we wanted, we can say so in a kind enough way. No one took a nomination from anybody.
No shade. I mean,
No.
we're making a subjective thing a competitive thing that's already terrible. So it's never any shade to anybody.
No.
But since we're doing it, we got to do it.
Let's if we're going to talk about this, let's not, sorry for the term, but let's not pussyfoot around, Will. Okay.
And he's always saying that.
He's always saying it. Yeah. every time I meet him at Schmackery's, he goes, "Let's not pussyfoot around." And I go,
And you're like,
"We're just ordering some cookies."
we're getting cookies today.
Will,
So
for
weird.
you, what was a big surprise for you today?
I was so pleasantly surprised to see an honor for Mary Mitchell Campbell at Encores. I for someone to get their flowers while they're still working and relatively new to Encores, in that headlining position, I'm so happy for her.
Mm-hmm. And a competitive category, Will?
Oh no, I
Give me a
wait,
competitive category
was
now,
that
please.
known? Was that a known thing?
I thought it was, but didn't they announce it before, like 2 days ago, that who the Lifetime Achievement Awards or honorary awards were?
Oh, I didn't
They
see
definitely
those
announced
then.
some of them. I can't remember if she was on that list yet or not, or if this was dropped today.
Oh, I
I
didn't
think
see
I
her
saw
on that
Stephen
list
Aremus
if it
post
was
about
up.
it, but maybe I'm wrong.
But
Give me a competitive one, baby.
only 3 nominees for revival of a musical.
Well, I feel like it would only have been 4 if there was a tie, and because it was five contenders, so
Right.
it was 3 nominees.
Oh.
But you were expecting it to be 4 with Rocky Horror, Chess, Ragtime, and Cats?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, this is why
So-
we come on this podcast, because you have all the stats.
Mhm.
I do have the stats.
You know exactly what everything is.
Why, when it comes to taxes and financials, numbers make no sense to me. But when it comes to Tony Awards, I can tell you how those numbers work.
You just need an accountant that can explain everything as though it's the Tony Awards.
Yeah. I think
It's
that's
all
the best
How
way to
Now
do it.
Dow Jones.
Yes.
Have
I
I
need
got
to
a musical for you?
God damn it. Rachel, what was a big surprise for you today?
Pleasant surprises in featured actress and featured actor in a musical. I was so pleasantly surprised by Rachael Dratch.
Mm-hmm.
I screamed out loud, and I was also really pleasantly surprised for Leighton Williams for Titanic, because I left Titanic and I was like, you know who I loved? The iceberg.
The iceberg, bitch, let us have it.
Let
Mhm.
us have it. No, I was really like, that was like my, if I ruled the world, I was like, they'd get a 1,000,000%. So I was so thrilled to see it. I really was.
Yeah, in our, they weren't really predictions in the last episode. They were like bold swings, what we wanted, what we thought could happen. They weren't like official, here are my predictions. But I talked a bit about Leighton Williams and how I sort of felt like it was a real possibility. He was getting nominated elsewhere, even though those award shows don't really overlap with the Tonys anyway, but they can help with momentum sometimes. And I didn't say it in so many words, but I was like, I feel like basic nominators are going to nominate Jim Parsons because that's the bigger and essentially better
it's the
role.
flashier name. Yeah.
But anyone who saw Russell Daniels off Broadway can see that, like, while Jim Parsons does a nice job, is not anywhere near like what that role could be. And Leighton takes what is essentially like a cameo and turns it into this fucking showstopper. And if they are interesting nominators, they'll nominate Leighton, and then they did it, and I was happy. Yeah.
That was definitely my pleasant surprise for sure.
Yeah, I had a few pleasant surprises myself. I was very happy that Hannah Cruz got in for Chess. I've been banging that drum since November. She's giving my favorite performance in that show. I won't stop talking about it. Other than I'll go on to other ones that are also like things that I had mentioned on this podcast for a while as my gut feelings that ended up being right, and some that maybe led astray. I will say, a negative surprise for me is Marjorie Prime not getting in for Revival, especially because June Squibb and Danny Burstein got in. And I was like, oh, great. They're not going to forget about it. And then they fucking kicked her out of the bed. God damn it.
Not like this.
Not like this. They kicked Grandma Marjorie out of bed and said, have Alzheimer's on your own, bitch.
That's so tough.
How
Squibb.
unlike a wooer.
Squibb was my other pleasant surprise. She was on my list, but you just never know.
Yeah. And
we also,
sorry.
in full transparency, we are far less caught up on plays than we are the musicals. So I just felt like, even putting my list together, I was like, I have so many blind spots that putting a list together felt like a fool's errand. I was like, I have
Yeah.
no idea what's actually going to end up being nominated because I didn't see half the plays, and that's my fault, you know.
We're still planning on rushing Little Bear Ridge Road, so
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
probably
I
like
think
tomorrow morning.
got to get to the
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too late. Well,
Really
the good news is that yours truly saw absolutely
everything. Yeah,
fucking
always.
everything.
Yes,
Yeah,
always.
yeah.
Always.
So when we talk about some of these play categories, if you can ask any questions about like what's the deal with that? Is that accurate? How do you feel about that? I'm happy to do that for you.
Thank
That's
you.
my little tour guide for you. But yeah, I will say there were shows that like both overperformed and underperformed at the same time, if that makes sense. Like got in categories that I didn't expect them to, and then didn't get in categories that I feel like everyone just assumed were locks. And so that was very surprising to me.
What's
Like,
your big example of that?
I guess like both like Chess and Jellicle Ball. Like I really thought that Chess was kind of going to walk away with just an orchestration nomination and Nick Christopher. Once it became clear that we were going to get 5 nominees in actor, I was like, oh, it's Nick and Brandon are getting in, because that was for me the biggest question of when it was supposed to be 4 before Andrew Durand was deemed lead. I went, oh, the question is like amongst Luke Evans, Nick Christopher, and Brandon Uranowitz, who are going to be those last 2 in the category, because Josh and Sam are locked in. And then when they said, well, Durand is going to be lead, so it's 9 nominees, which means there are 9 contenders, so there will be 5 nominees. I went, oh, easy breezy. Brandon, Nick, and Luke all get in, fine.
Yeah.
But when I assumed that they would get Nick and orchestrations, and then like potentially choreography. I was pretty hesitant to say that they were going to get in there. I did not enjoy the choreography. Lauren Lataro does not do it for me as a choreographer. And also just like in years past, she's done this. She's also like had shows with a lot of choreography. People assume she's going to get in and then she doesn't. And I'm like, I feel like it's going to happen again. And when Leah didn't get in for actress, which I want to talk about in a second as well, because that's another thing I said in the last episode. I was like, guys, Shu is eligible in lead. Does this do anything for lead actress? And everyone said no. And I went, okay, I guess I'm the idiot then. And then I was a goddamn prophet. But I digress. But when Leah didn't get in,
Doesn't surprise me at all.
when Leah didn't get in, I was like, okay, so I think it's gonna go however. But then when Hannah and Bryce both got in and featured, I went, oh, like I don't think they're getting a revival. Like maybe choreography also will happen now. And then it didn't. And so that was interesting. So like they both overperformed and underperformed. And then Jellicle Ball did basically what I expected. It's just Temperance not getting in for featured actress, and then no Junior or Sydney as a second nominee for featured actor kind of surprised me. But I don't think there's any double nominees in the features at all in musical. Yeah. So everyone got one. So that in the end, it makes sense. They spread the wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should talk about, though, Rachel's category, sound design of a play.
Is that where we're starting?
I don't know. We're gonna go all over. We're gonna do
Wait,
like
guys,
we did
don't
last
leave.
time.
Don't leave.
Don't leave. No,
If you've
I'm
made
very
it this
big when
far, oh my God.
I like to cover all the categories, but also I feel like if we start big and then go small, people are gonna trail off at the end. And if we start small, if we just do small, people are gonna leave. So we'll do one small, one big. I'm gonna pick the small.
Can't give it all away.
One small, one bug. Big.
There you go. Thank you, Will. Thank you. And because of that, Will, you don't get to choose the big category now. Rachel will. I will say sound design of a play. So we have Justin Ellington for Joe Turner's Come and Gone. That's another one that kind of overperformed and underperformed at the same time for me. Tom Gibbons for Oedipus, Lee Kinney for Fear of 13, Josh Schmidt for Bug, and Mikhail Suleiman for Death of a Salesman. Fear of 13 is probably the big surprise for me here. I thought Every Brilliant Thing would get in here, especially when it made a surprise revival nomination, because the sound design of that show is really exceptional when you consider that like you have to be able to hear what everyone in that audience says when Daniel's like number 7,240. And so I thought that was gonna get in there, but it didn't. But Bug, I'm thrilled with. Oedipus is great. Salesman is going to win it, I'm pretty sure. But also like Oedipus.
What's the thought there
for why Salesman's going to win it?
Yeah.
This production of Salesman, the way it was sort of described to me, which really kind of locks it all in, is that this production feels like it all takes place within Willy Loman's mind. It's the most I've ever seen Salesman feel like a memory play. And the way that Mantello does that is it's a very, it's a literal set, but it's also very abstract. And the lighting and the sound design are used to really hone in on when a scene is memory, when it's real. The way sound design is used to have an effect harken into Nathan Lane's mind. Like he's having a scene with Laurie Metcalf, and then all of a sudden you'll hear a sound effect that is going to tie into a memory scene in about 5 minutes, and it kind of all pins together. And also, I mean, for a play that doesn't sound mic'd in a 1,500-seat theater, the fact that you can hear everyone is really exceptional, subtle work. Oedipus is sort of the same way. It's also not, if it is mic'd, you can't really tell. That was really great. And also, Oedipus had all of the different TVs on with different news stations on, and it never felt overwhelming. It was, I would say those are the two that are kind of battling it out for most of the categories. But yeah, Salesman just sort of on a technical level, what they all do to make this feel fresh and fluid is really exciting.
Love.
While still using all of the text that was there, from 1949, and making it feel fresh sound-wise.
Yeah, I mean that's what a revival should do. They don't always do that, but like with Salesman, I'm like, yeah, that's how you do a revival.
Sure.
Thought about Oedipus and sound design. I don't know if anyone else noticed this. At one point, they played the same Otis Redding song 4 times in a row in the background, and I was like, what? Because I had that John Mulaney "What's New Pussycat" thought, where I was like, oh, I guess this song is a lot longer than I remember. And then it started again, because you get to that part where he's like, and I was like, no, we're here again. And the scene is happening, everyone's great, but I was having my own little moment of like, what is this? Like Otis sings foreshadowing? What's happening? During dinner. So
How did
things
we
are
never
happening.
talk about that?
You're the first one to ever say that, Will.
It's also the most Will observation I've ever heard in my entire life, number one. But how did we never talk about that? We've talked about that play ad nauseum.
It was a meme that
We've talked
I
about it
had
so
tried to make, and I was like, this isn't clicking. I don't think it's gonna. I think it's too specific a reference,
Yeah,
and
because
it's
you're the
taking
only
too much
person
time.
that noticed it.
Yeah, but it was gonna be the album cover for Otis Blue, Otis Sings Soul, and it was gonna say Oedipus Blue, Oedipus Sings Foreshadowing, and I was like, this isn't for anybody.
It's like, that's not even for 5 people. That's for just you.
It's barely for the people in the play. Like
None people's favorite thing.
Yeah, it's
just
yeah.
you. Just
Merch,
you.
none people's favorite thing.
I don't know.
My biggest pride and joy this year was coming up with the joke that Leslie Manville and Mark Strong performed the title song of Oedipus. Because say it out loud, Oedipus. Yep. Rachel got it. Yeah, there we go. The listeners know too. It's one of my favorite jokes of the year. But I digress.
That's how we got everyone to agree
Go
on the
on.
pronunciation.
Exactly. The entire audience walked in and went, oh, God, how pretentious. They're calling him Oedipus. And then they do that scene and everyone goes, oh, now I get it. Anywho, Rachel, pick us a nice big old category, please.
Should we go sound design of a musical? Just like, let's go back to back.
Sure, if you want, we can do that, or we can do a big headlining.
Oh, like
headline catching category
a big
if you
old
want.
boy. Let's leave the biggest ones for last. Let's go.
Costume design of a one-person show.
Hey,
no,
it's my turn. Let's go leading actor in a musical. I feel like this is
amazing.
This is good. I would like to say that this is the only category where I correctly predicted all of them. Every other that's not true. The main play and musical category I also did, but as far as performances go, this is the only one that I got right.
I can't recall how many which ones I got fully right. Leading actor in a musical.
I would assume it's quite a few.
Yeah. I think in terms of performances, lead actor in a musical, lead actor in a play, and lead actress in a play, I got fully right. And I think lead actress in a musical, I got one wrong, but that's because I didn't trust my gut. But yeah, I think this is a solid lineup. Is there anybody here who's really kind of surprising us not in here? I mean, Rachel, obviously not you. You predicted this.
just because I predicted it doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it, but yes, I think this is a very solid list. We were doing an Instagram live right before we hopped on with you, and there was
Mhm.
somebody who was talking about like the race between Nicholas Christopher and Joshua Henry, and I had to be like, respectfully, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
it's
It's not very
it's not
it's not a race.
it's Joshua's time.
I mean, I
It's
think if there's any potential of a spoiler, it won't be Nick, it'll be Sam. And
yeah,
that's
wouldn't that be
because
wild?
Sam has like a genuine horse in the race with Two Strangers for musical. That's and he's giving a lovely performance, but that's what I mean of like, it's not just the individual. You have to look at the property they're a part of and how that pushes them forward. But like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's one of those things we work ourselves into a tizzy, and then it was Agatha all along. Like I think we can just sort of breathe
It
and
just
go. There are other categories that have chaos. Like this is an easy one. It's Josh.
Yeah. And if it's not Josh, I just don't know what he would have to do to get it. Do you know what I mean? Like at that point, like who would he have to play to get it?
It
I,
just
I,
makes me think of how like every year the voters and nominators would have to, for Joshua Henry to not win despite so much excellent work, they have to pass his name and be like, okay, like we'll get him, like we'll get him his award, but like not this year. And so
Yeah.
like, how many years can you do that before you're like, it's his time? And he is always excellent.
yeah.
We've
Yeah.
been on the
He's
Joshua
always
Henry
like,
train for so
and
long.
he's in the zeitgeist. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's the Sarah Come Down to Me of it all. He sang on the Met Steps last night. It's like
Mhm.
it's his moment.
Yeah.
I'd eat my shoe.
I would. His campaign has been very good because it hasn't felt super forceful. I would say the Met video was like the only time where I was like, oh, okay, that's like, let's take a step back.
That's
It,
not his fault.
I
You know
know,
what
but
I
like,
mean? It's like,
he's great. The video's good, but you know what I mean. It's sort of like the night before the Tony nominations. It's just one of those things where I'm like, we should have timed this a little bit better. But also, I don't know. The Met Gala happened the night before the Tony nominations. That's how it
yeah,
worked
and
out.
you get asked to sing on the Met Steps, and like, what are you gonna
Yeah,
say? Like,
that's how. Yeah, it's
especially when you're in the middle of an active campaign, you're not saying no. It's
no.
just the way that it's presented, you have no control over. But I mean, he's excellent. So
Yeah,
what are
it's
we doing?
exactly. No, I think it's him. I'm glad he's getting his flowers. Brandon is also really excellent in Ragtime, but Brandon
Mhm.
is also won. And the thing about Tata is he doesn't really have a musical moment that audiences can like hold on to in the way that Josh does. And we'll talk.
Mhm.
That's actually kind of important for a lot of musical performances. We'll talk about that more in other categories later. But no, I think this is a really solid lineup. I mean, I enjoy LJ in Lost Boys. I think that Michael's actually kind of like the least interesting character in the musical, sort of by design. Like he's sort of meant to be a sad sack wet blanket, so that way all the other crazy characters can glom onto him and make him less wet, or wetter, however view it. But
Hey.
yeah, no, he's really strong. I think he's doing a good job. But
Great voice.
great voice.
Oh
I
my
love my thick
god.
folds. When he and Ali sing together, I'm like, the '90s are back. But
Yeah.
no, it's just, this is a tough five. It's just the moment it became five and not four, I was like, oh, I'm so sorry to everyone else, but it's
Yeah,
locked
this is
in.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Will, do you want to pick a category or do you have anything else to say here?
Let's go. We just did leading actor in a musical. Let's do
Mhm.
leading actress in a musical.
Okay. Sound design of a play, leading actor musical, leading actress musical. Okay. So, there are indeed a couple of surprises here.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to speak on it?
Will's category.
Will, your category. Talk to me.
I'm so happy to see Marla Mandel for Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
I love comic performances being celebrated with awards and nominations, and like yes, we and same with Sarah Chase and Schmigadoon. To see, we think of acting as acting and like italic and very serious, but
Mhm.
the performances that I really latch onto and keep thinking about after so often are comedic. So this
Mhm.
feels great to me.
Yeah.
Casey Levy in Ragtime
Super
also
funny.
excellent.
The way she
Like I'm
digs out
excited
that
about.
baby, super funny. She digs out that baby like she's in a Max Sennett movie.
Mhm.
The baby that
That
never
Tata
ages.
directed.
Yeah, sorry, you were saying though. I interrupted you.
Oh, like I love how you have all of these different performance styles together. It just feels like a good category.
Yeah. Rachel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, very similar. The Stephanie of it all was really exciting. Obviously, you never want to rain on anybody else's parade, for lack of a better word, but yeah, tough.
Tough break.
Tough,
So
yeah, tough. But I don't know. I think it's tough because I haven't seen Chess and I haven't seen Rocky Horror, so I can't really speak to like one over the other. But what I can say is, similarly to Will, like, loved Marla Mendel in Titanic off Broadway, and I thought her performance translated on Broadway better than a lot of the other ones.
Mhm.
Like, I think she can really fill the space, which was my biggest concern with moving such a like an insane show into like such a big room. It's like,
Yeah.
are you going to be able to hold the room? And I think she really does. Sarah Chase is the heart of Schmigadoon, so it's sort of like without her charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, that thing's not going anywhere. So I don't know. And then Ragtime, Two Strangers. It's like it all makes sense to me.
Yeah. There was a time during the Drama Desks Outer Critic Circle, like Christiani was not getting nominated and people were getting nervous. And I kind of had to sort of go like, everybody calm down. They're blended categories. They're also including off Broadway. Like people
Yeah.
who are going to get nominated are not going to be found here. So it's okay. So, but also like with Two Strangers, there's no way you nominate that show for Best Musical and then not nominate the two of them because it's not a star vehicle. It's such a two-hander.
Yeah.
And I actually think she has kind of the harder role. He has the more like dynamic material, and what's difficult about his role is that Dougal can be so annoying in the wrong hands, and I actually don't ever want to see it performed by anyone but Sam Tutty because he's so good at not making Dougal the worst.
Vinny's very good. I will.
I'm sure
say.
he is.
I'm sorry. I gotta
not
shout
super
out
up.
Vinny.
I'm not that
Yes.
up on the show.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I'm like, because I don't give that show like the benefit of the doubt, I'm just sort of like, I'm going to keep my memory of Sam because
Yes.
I'm fearful if I see it with someone I don't like, I'm going to get worse on the show. But
I get it. But I will say, in Vinny's defense,
I'm sure
as
Vinny does
Vinny's
great. That's
defense attorney, no,
Vinny, you have your defenders, and I'm not here for you, here to come for you, Vinny. Please
no,
understand
100%,
that.
100%. He's a
But,
sweetie.
Christiani's role is like she's similar to like LJ in Lost Boys. Her job is to kind of never say yes and to Dougal. That's sort of the joke, and she's got demons, and I think she's really good at doing all of that without being dour herself, which is really hard to do. So I really appreciate that. Sarah Chase, yeah, that was something that I don't think anybody a month ago really was clocking. But then as the show was in previews, everyone's like, oh, this really, like she and Brightman, it's their story, it's their narrative. And the difference between the two of them and their characters, because they both do lovely jobs. Her character yes ands into Schmigadoon early enough that she gets to have songs and like have a lot more fun. Whereas Brightman has to unfortunately be the no guy until the very end. And the payoff is lovely, but like it's really hard to wait that long for that payoff for him. And also like we have a whole history with Sarah Chase. We like her. We've loved her in so many things. This is for her.
Yeah.
Marla, yes, absolutely. Casey, the thing about Shu, okay, I want to say this right here, right now.
Please, yeah. You have the floor.
Thank you. So I was quoted a few times in our last episode saying, Stephanie Shu, what's going to happen now that she's in lead? And I love my friends, but like Connor and Dylan were like, I don't think so. I think even Sam and Juan were like, maybe. But everyone's like, I think we got Chase in there. And then like it's really between Vosk and Leah for the last slot. And on paper, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Similar to Sarah Chase, Vosk has been around. We like her. She's getting a leg up. But ultimately, Beaches does not work. Leah has been on a major redemption campaign tour. She came in and did a great job with Funny Girl. That show recouped. She's a producer on Chess. She's really working hard. And speaking of, Tony campaigning, the last like 2 months have really been like Leah. She got a caricature at Sardi's that they claim is hers. She has a My Life in the Theater on Playbill and has really kind of emphasized how like grateful she is to be back in theater. And I'm sure it's genuine, but like it was a lot. This is like the downside of when you're pushing so much towards the end of nominations, it can feel a little overbearing.
Yeah.
And the one thing that voters and nominators hate is you kind of like forcing them who to vote for.
Yeah.
And so it felt a little bit of like, okay, we get it. Leah's here and she's on Broadway and we should be so grateful. But like, let me decide if her performance is worthy. And she sounds great, but I've been very vocal that I think acting wise, she doesn't really have it locked in the way that Nick and Hannah do. And when Shu was decided to be a lead contender, I wasn't fully convinced she was going to get in, but my gut was like, I don't know. Maybe because I would say she's probably my favorite or second favorite performance in Rocky Horror. I think her comedy in it is chef's kiss. When Luke Evans is seducing her in the bed, she does what I can only call legography, and it's one singular leg. She's like one leg. It's like she's got one leg that's stuck in 1950s Republican conservatism and one leg that is horny, horny, horny. And so it's like what she does with it. I watch her and I go, you're a freak and I love you. Thank God you're here. And so I'm very, very happy that she's in this category. Overall, I'm very happy with this lineup. There's nobody I would kick out of
funny.
I can't wait for you to see it. I think you'll like it.
I'm so excited. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, my turn.
Yes.
I'm gonna do a smaller category.
Yeah.
Or
Get a little freaky with it.
a little freak with it. Actually, okay, I'm gonna do one of the ones where we have a tie. Let's do lighting design of a musical. We have Kevin Adams for Chess, Jane Cox for The Rocky Horror Show, Donald Holder for Schmigadoon, Adam Honoré for Cats, The Jellicle Ball, as well as Adam Honoré and Donald Holder for and 59 Studio for Ragtime, and Jen Shriver and Michael Arden for The Lost Boys. So we got two folks in here who are nominated twice, Adam Honoré and Donald Holder. Good for them.
Wild.
Yeah. And this is, okay, so I think this is lighting design of a musical and lighting design of a play. Both have 6. So that means there were exact ties in both of those categories.
Wild.
Yeah. And featured actor in a play, but we'll get to that. Super wild. This is actually not a bad lineup. If I were to cut one out, I would probably cut out Chess. But I mean, yeah, I don't think there's anything terrible here. I think that Lost Boys' lighting is, I don't yeah.
When they were announcing it and they got to 5 and Lost Boys wasn't in it, I was literally like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, I was like, if that can't even get nominated, I don't know what's going on. And it was also the spacing on the screen made it look like it was full. So I was like,
yeah,
worried.
that was me with last year when they were doing leading actor of a musical, because I think based on the last names, I think Jeremy Jordan for Floyd Collins was the last one announced, because we got to, I think, Groff or whoever it was, and I was like, oh my God, they snubbed Jeremy, and then they did 6. I was like, okay, here we are, thank God.
This is James Monroe Iglehart, right?
Yeah. Iglehart was the surprise, and when he got in, I was like, oh fuck, is that at the expense of Jordan? And then Jordan got in, but like, yeah, that's the double-edged sword of 6 nominees. Like, you don't know it's going to be 6, so you get to the 5th, you're like, fuck.
So fun.
Yeah, because I mean, Lost Boys right now is sort of I think has the edge to win here. Like, that lighting design is just so stunning.
I think all the technical categories should.
No, costumes is going to be Cats, and I don't want
you're
any
not,
word out of your mouth
not
about
costumes.
that, Rachel.
I'm thinking like scenic lighting and sound.
For sure. Yeah, is there anything in here that, other than it being 6, any other major surprises for us here?
No surprises. I mean, Cats might take it.
I think it's down to Cats and Lost Boys. Rocky Horror's lighting design is not necessarily intricate, but it's very appropriate for what the show is doing. Chess and Ragtime both is lighting design that's working overtime to make up for the lack of set.
And speaking of, I think what I did have on my list was Titanic. Their lighting plot was nuts.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
But it was like, it was a lot.
Yes.
I remember one of my most visceral memories of Titanic is also the lights doing like that thing, like into the audience. I was like, oh, and like I've got sensitive eyes. So like I kept doing that throughout the show.
That might be what did it for them to get knocked out. Nominators were like, enough of flashing it into my eyes. Flash it on the actors, please.
Sure. I
Yeah.
mean, that's fair. They're
Yeah,
they
I get
lit
that.
they lit it like it was a rock concert.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm going to
And-
tie this in actually into like design of a play for a quick
Please,
second.
please.
Yes, we got Isabella Bird for Dog Day Afternoon, not a surprise. Natasha Chivers for Oedipus, not a surprise. Stacey DeRosier for Joe Turner's Come and Gone, bit of a surprise. Heather Gilbert twice for Bug and Fear of 13, surprise there. And then Jack Knowles for Salesman, not a surprise. I know that you guys haven't seen all of the plays, but is there anything here that you have seen?
Yes.
Oedipus, I know.
We saw Oedipus, we saw Dog Day, and we saw Joe Turner.
Mhm.
So half.
Yeah. I feel vindicated. I had said early on that I thought that Dog Day was going to make it into all of the below the line categories, all the design stuff, and then blank on all the top stuff, which it did.
Yeah.
I did acknowledge I thought Joe Turner was going to come in for most of the design stuff. It did, except for set. We'll get to that. I thought that was going to lend it to a revival nomination, even though I wasn't in love with this revival. It just sort of felt like that to me. We'll discuss that in a second. But like the lighting design of Joe Turner is good, especially when they get to the end of Act 1. That's really important. Fear of 13, I understand. I think I'm more just sort of surprised that we got a tie here. It makes you wonder, both with this and musical, like what were the two
Over the
that
tie.
tied?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd imagine it was probably like Joe Turner and Fear of 13, maybe. I don't know.
They're like,
Joe
we
Turner-
can't choose our favorite Heather Gilbert. So
Yeah,
we'll
plot.
vote her twice.
Well, we're gonna pick both of Heather. Come on, Heather. I mean, when you see Salesman, you'll see sort of like what's going on with that one. But similar to the sound design, it's very integral to the success of that production.
Even in seeing the production photography, it's very clear how much the lighting is a mood and artful, and it doesn't always lend itself to photography, but everything I've seen in stills for Salesman has popped.
Yeah, I think this is sort of the lighting design in both of these categories. We basically have two versions of lighting design: the lighting design that helps emphasize the set, and the lighting design that makes up for the lack of set. And it's nice to have the balance, and it'll be interesting to see which one wins the day in the end in both categories. Yeah. Okay, Rachel, you're up. We've done sound design of a play, actor, actress, musical, and then lighting design for play and musical.
Okay. Ooh, can we do because I want to talk about set design of a play.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to talk about
Do you want to do that and musical together?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Where is it? I have the New York Times list pulled up.
Oh. I have Playbill
Mm-hmm.
because I'm uncultured.
No, I was looking for just one that was like condensed enough that I could see a lot of it at the same time, because all of them are like so blown up.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to be able to look at all of it at the same time, so I'm not missing. It might not even.
You
be
don't want to see placeholder thumbnails of where a picture would be.
I love that. Although someone on the Discord did mention that when the New York Times was updating the nominations, they had a misprint and they had Hannah Cruz in for Lost Boys. Integrity of journalism, New York Times. What can I say?
But
First the
you
Justin
hate-
Baldoni expose, and now this.
No comment.
This is why you guys need to be watching this on YouTube. You need to see both Rachel and Will's face when I said that.
No comment. No comment. Okay, yeah. Scenic design of a play. Do you want to read it, or do you? I don't know how to say these names.
Okay. Okay. Any name you don't want to say, I'll try to butcher it. Hildegard Bechtler for
Sure.
Oedipus. Takeshi Kata for Bug. And then
Sure.
I think you can handle the other three.
It's like Chloe Lamford for Death of a Salesman, David Corrin's Dog Day Afternoon, and David Rockwell, Fallen Angels. So I want to talk about Dog Day Afternoon
Go for it.
because that set like took my breath away. The way that however you feel about the play, which we can talk about if there's time, but essentially, if you haven't seen it, it's essentially the whole building is on a giant turntable, and you're going in and out of the bank, and then the inside of the bank, like so intricate. I loved the way that like the safe in the back, like I don't know, we had pretty decent seats as well, so I could see a lot of the details. Oh, Dad is being so sweet.
Yeah,
I could see a lot of the details, and I just loved, I don't know, the colors and like the vibe of everything. Like I just was so placed in, and also like we don't live terribly far from where that took place, like in Brooklyn. We
and we've
actually
robbed a
saw,
few banks.
and we've robbed a few banks. We
Yeah.
saw a screening of Dog Day Afternoon. Grace Aki with Nighthawk does this amazing series called Stage to Screen, where she'll screen. She just did one for the Lost Boys last night, but essentially things that have been adapted from film to the stage. And it was like, I think like 3 or 4 blocks from where the bank robbery took place, which is crazy. All that to say, I loved that set so much. I love a David Corn set in general. And I was very nervous seeing how terrible the reviews for Dog Day were, unfortunately. Excuse me, that it was going to get completely shut out. And I think it wasn't nominated for the drama desk for scenic design. And I was like, oh no, like it's gonna, so I was personally thrilled because of all the sets for plays that I've seen this season. That was my favorite one. So that's my soapbox.
It's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It got like the brown and orange of the
That's what I'm saying, the
70s,
color.
right? Yeah. It it wasn't that like Spirit Halloween's 1970s costume idea of the 70s. It was like, no, it's kind of earth tones, and it's not glamorous, but that's part of what sold the desperation of the situation in the show. I love it.
You say the brown and the orange, and my mind just went to, and the brown,
Brown
and
and
the
the
beige,
beige,
brown and the beige, and the brown.
and the brown.
No, I
Which
think the
same
only,
era.
Same era. The
Yeah.
only thing that's missing here for me is the balusters, which is
Yes, I agree. That was
amazing
on my
set.
list.
Yeah, but
Modeled after, we went to a talk back after the play, and it's modeled after David Lindsay Abair's actual home, but then decorated as though it's a black
Characters.
woman's home.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. It's, I mean, the truth is that there's no set here that I would delete for the balusters. Maybe Salesman, but like the thing about Salesman's set is that it's not as elaborately intricate as the rest of these, but it does support the production it's in, which ultimately is what you're supposed to nominate. And so, this is another one where I'm like, yeah, I could have had 6. Would have been nice because like Bug's set is very detailed and specific, and there's just a very big reveal in the second act that I know would probably, hopefully, get a lot of people's attention. I did say in the last episode, I was like, let's not nominate Joe Turner's Come and Gone for set design. Like, let's maybe think about Bug. I mean, not. I was more sort of like saying I would hope that nominators would understand what Bug does well, and it looks like they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think I look at this and I go, the Dog Day set, design-wise, Dog Day kind of nails the assignment. It's the tone from the direction and a lot of the performances that do not. We will talk about that as we get to other categories, because there are performers that I had people reach out to me about, like, how could they not get nominated, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they are talented. The show is not helping them. But design-wise, it does nail it. Fallen Angels, that David Rockwell Art Deco London flat is just like stunning.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to roll around in it. Yeah. And then Oedipus. I mean, Oedipus is a very austere looking set, but it's so deceptively
Intentional.
complicated. Yeah.
Can I ask perhaps a silly question? The clock, is that included in scenic design in the sense that like it's also obviously bigger than, like, obviously the scenic designer isn't the one that came up with the concept of having the clock running, but like if I'm a Tony voter and say that was like my favorite device of the whole season, like I just like was so blown away by that, are you taking the clock into account, or are you just sort of like they chose the aesthetic for the clock itself is like its own separate thing? Is that
I think
silly?
I would view it as, I would probably, that's not silly. I think that's something to mention. I would probably include the clock as its own separate thing, and then make that a point of reference when I'm voting for revival. So, I would not necessarily be able to differentiate how much of that is set and how much of that is direction, and I would just throw my hands up in the air and go, okay, well then revival. Here we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that is sort of the beauty of the collaboration. That was absolutely a discussion between. I would assume that was a director idea that then the set designer finessed into feeling like part of the world and not feeling so obviously a gimmick. Which some people I know were not on that, did not love that device, but I saw that. I was like, I'm sorry, we all know what it's doing. It's obvious what it's doing, but it is also still so much a part of this world that I don't feel forced with it.
And that last 15 minutes of just being like, how are we going to get there? How are we going to get there? How are we going to get there? Oh, yeah. I loved it. I loved it.
I'm so happy that Oedipus did so well today. Scenic design of a musical. We have Dots for Richard O'Brien's The Rocky Horror Show, Sutra Gilmore for Two Strangers, Rachel Hawk for Cats The Jellicle Ball, Dan Laffrey for Lost Boys, and Scott Pask for Schmigadoon. Any surprise omissions here, folks? Or does it feel?
No, I don't think so.
No, I like this.
I like it too. I mean, it's tough. It's tough because I feel like each one of them is doing something very specific, and they're all doing it at like the highest level possible. Where it's like Schmigadoon with those like hand painted sets, and like there's so much charm and like the world building, and like you just like feel like you're in a little like I love like the Christmas villages. You know what I mean? Like the little, I was like, I feel like I'm in like the musical version of a Christmas village, but it's the summer, whatever. That's too many things. And then like obviously
it had such an artful sense of depth, despite them being.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You feel like there's a whole town. Yeah.
It was. I think it was a very heightened version of Golden Age set design, which I appreciated. Yeah, I think I had predicted that Queen of Versailles would get in here, and I think I predicted that sort of at the expense of Two Strangers. And Two Strangers getting in is not a hardship for me because I do actually like that set a lot. I think the very beigey suitcases at first sight is kind of underwhelming, but the way that it eventually reveals itself is very charming.
But I think Schmigadoon's doing that same thing with you walk in and it's a vending machine on stage and you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
This is garbage. And then it's like, oh, okay, there's a whole world behind this vending machine. It's the same thing. I love, and I don't know if it's like going back to my theater days in like high school where we did group interpretation where it's sort of like the set has to do a lot of the like, you don't get props, you don't get like whatever. So like the set is doing a lot of like the heavy lifting of like, surprises and those sorts of things. I was so charmed by Two Strangers as the play goes on, and you're like, oh my god, that suitcase is a bed, and that one is whatever.
And it becomes like a mini bar and all those things. Yeah. Sorry. Well, Will, were you about to say something that I interrupted? I tend to do that.
I like that Two Strangers, the set reflects how we're supposed to view his name, Sam Tutty's character, that there's more there. Dougal. I was like Donald. Dougal, that you're supposed to be like, when you meet him, you're like, oh, like, I guess there's not that much to this character. And then there's so much more that's revealed throughout the show. And that's how the set reveals itself to the audience. And there's a lot to play with. And it's interesting. And it's deceptive.
Listen, I'm also a sucker for a turntable, always and forever. You put a turntable on stage and I'll be like a little slutty for you. And this show is just like turning.
Turning through the years.
Turning through the years. I am not as up on Two Strangers as a lot of its fans are, but I do recognize what works about it. And I do think that the set is something that works about it. I think those two central performances work about it. And I actually applaud the director and the set designer for not caving into an asshole like me who would walk into like the theater and just go, well, that's an interesting way to do a set design, and like not try to prove to me immediately what they're going on about. They're like, no, we're gonna tease this out and show you what.
Just that one suitcase, like Doll's House.
I think wasn't Jesse Green in his review who was like Jessica Chastain revolving on the turntable like a pie in a diner or something like that. It was like such.
I think that was his
image. Yeah, such a specific image.
Every once in a while, Jesse Green. Every once in a while.
Honestly, I would say that for every New York Times theater critic. Like every once in a while, you get it right. Yeah, I mean, when you see Rocky Horror, it's such an interesting aesthetic. It tells you up front sort of what Pinkelton's going for.
Mhm.
And in fact, Rocky Horror kind of overperformed in so many categories that I thought Pinkelton actually might get in at the expense of Lear for Ragtime, but we will talk about that when we get to director. When you walk in the theater, you understand like we're going for Party City on a budget. We are your community theater doing doing Rocky Horror. Like that's the vibe. And so when the show begins, it's like I think a lot of people were expecting the 2000 revival from start to finish, which means a lot to a lot of us. But like Dots' design tells you up front, no. This is going to be like amateur hour plus in a charming way. And there's a lot of surprise to that, which I appreciate. Anything else?
While we're
I mean,
talking about this, can I
yeah.
also chime in on with the social media thing? And this is like
Mhm.
no shade to, because obviously I work with a lot of the people who make content for the shows, but my favorite trend of the season that like made me laugh every time was when they would get a cast reaction of them like seeing their set for the first time, and it's always the same like, oh my god, like
Mhm.
can you believe? And it reminds me, did you see Oh Hello when it was on Broadway with
I
John
did,
Mulaney and
yeah.
Nick Kroll? It's like they have that line. Will's gonna remember it better than I am, but it's like, do you
John
remember?
Mulaney. The curtain goes up, and after they've been doing like two people walking back and forth in one for the opening jokes, and then the set is revealed, and John Mulaney goes, "Can you imagine having your expectations exceeded by a Broadway show having a set?" And
And it's what
yeah,
I would think every time. I was like, what did they expect to happen when they saw it for the first time? Especially when it was like Titanic. I was like, you guys, you
Yeah.
can't be having that reaction for that set. There's no way. There's
Yeah.
no
Well, first of all,
way.
they all get to see the sketches and like model on the first day of rehearsal,
I
so they know what the
know.
set's
I
gonna
know.
be.
And
Yeah.
listen, and is social media also theater? It is indeed. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but it did make me laugh every single time. I was like, I don't need them reacting to their set. I just don't. Me personally. But what
Did
do
they?
I know?
You know what shows didn't do that? Well, like the reveal of the set and the cast going, chess and ragtime, because they were like, we're not going to preserve
Bye.
you.
This has been
Bye.
fun. See you. Thanks for having me, Matt. I'm gonna go.
Anyway, Will, you're up next. We've done scenic design of play, musical, lighting design of play and musical, sound design of play, lead actor, lead actress, musical.
well, you had just mentioned you wanted to say something about direction, so let's jump into direction. Let's
Okay, director of a
keep this
musical.
going.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
All right. Will,
Let's go
read
for
us
it.
off
Might go in the
who are our
wrong
nominees,
direction.
Will.
I might be going the wrong way. Direction of a musical. We have Michael Arden with The Lost Boys. We have Lear de Bessonet at Ragtime. We have Christopher Gattelli in Schmigadoon, and Tim Jackson for Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York, and Jalen Livingston and Bill Rausch for Cats the Jellicle Ball.
Yeah. This is honestly what I expected
Yeah.
about a month ago, and it's remained as such. I had Sam Pinkelton as a potential spoiler that I didn't fully believe in. And then when Shu got in for lead actress in a musical, I went, oh, I think Rocky Horror is about to overperform. And then it did essentially, except in the one category, which was Pinkelton. Otherwise, this has been exactly what I expected. I also think that it's kind of a done deal that Jalen and Bill are going to win for this. It's just it. Yeah, I just think that they are. Which also ties into why I still think Jellicle Ball is going to win revival, because I don't understand how you vote for director of a musical and it's a revival, and then you don't vote for the revival that they directed. But Stranger Things is on Broadway and has happened.
And it's still happening to this day.
Yes, exactly.
Jalen is a friend of ours, so we're deeply biased.
Mhm.
Deeply biased. But I don't know. I'm loving in general the Andrew Lloyd Webber renaissance of just like
Mhm.
getting a little freaky and weird with it. So I have a bias in that direction too, where I think it's just sort of like if you can take a piece that everybody knows so intimately and turn it on its head like that, not only like, is it going to win? Yeah, but like it should. It just
Oh, it should.
should.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
should.
just good.
It
It's
absolutely
good
should.
theater. That's all. I
It's a
don't know what
celebration
else.
of reinvention, which
Yeah.
theater reinvents itself every night, but this feels like
And
these well-known
creativity
properties.
and having a singular vision and honoring what's come before. It's many
Mhm.
things happening simultaneously, and I think they're all amazing. So I'm thrilled. We'll see. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen, but um,
I
you
mean,
know,
I think that I don't know. I just don't see a narrative for everyone else the way I see it for Jalen and Bill of like, Tim does a very nice job with Two Strangers. He keeps it moving. It gets the
mhm,
tone right. I'm glad he's in there for, such a small, intimate musical. I think ultimately, but this also just kind of reinforces what we were saying, or at least what I was saying of like, much as I love Titanic, it is a three-way race amongst Lost Boys and Schmigadoon and Two Strangers for Best Musical. A category you cannot really win without a director or book nomination, and all three shows have that now. Titanic does not have a director nomination, so they are, I do think, out. And then Revival, like Ragtime and Cats, like it's that also is sort of a nomination that you need.
mhm,
And I just I don't see Lear getting this. This production of Ragtime is pretty respectful of the material to the point that I don't think anything really special is done with it. It relies heavily on the talent of its company, and Lear has put together a very wonderful company. Uh, I'm going to leave it at that because I'm going to leave it at that. Catelli is very well liked. One could argue he's actually nominated twice here. No, sorry, I said I was going to leave it at that. I said I was going to leave it at that. Gatelli is a very well liked person. I think that if he's going to win anywhere, it's going to be in choreography for Schmigadoon. But also, that's another category. I'm like, guys, is Jellicle Ball. Like
yeah.
it's Jellicle Ball.
I mean, unless the voting block just really, really decides that they don't want it, but I don't know why that would be.
Racism, homophobia, but like that's not really a thing with Tony voters. They
We don't
don't.
have time to unpack all of that.
No, they're too busy just like getting their ballots in. I mean, the thing is that I think Arden just won again. He's not winning for Lost Boys, despite the fact that he's really kind of kept this huge ass ship on course.
Mm,
And there were a lot of obstacles getting it on the stage, and previews were a bit messy, and they got it to 2.5 hours. And like for all the things that I do think are still bumpy about Lost Boys, the fact that they worked out a lot of the kinks in so little time in such a
mhm.
public way is very
It
respectful.
was very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It-
really exciting.
It's like it's just such a bold swing and like huge colors. And I was reading an interview with him where he talked about like the inspiration from 80s mega musicals of just like that big earnest like broadness, and I'm watching it going, yeah, I get that, and I think you're
Mhm,
doing that, and that's totally great. I mean, Schmigadoon, I think if Catelli were to win, it would just be out of the fact that he's well respected. He's finally like making a name for himself as a director. He's proving that Death Becomes Her wasn't a fluke. He should be given more musicals to helm. And if Schmigadoon ends up being the best musical winner, which it could, remains to be seen sort of exactly what people are feeling. If they want to stick with the small intimate shows like Kimberly Akimbo and Fun Home, if they want to go for a broad comedy again, which they really haven't done since Spam-A-Lot, or if they want to do like the big epic show, which they really haven't done since like I don't know, like what's the last big epic show they did that's not Moulin Rouge because that's COVID, that doesn't count. Like
Mhm.
Lion King, I guess. Like that's really the last big epic they rewarded.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Once? No. I'm trying to
Once
think of like giant shows.
once was Giant Feelings in a small
Yeah.
vacuum.
Hairspray.
Hairspray, yeah. And Hairspray was also like such a joyful, like like classic musical theater experience in a way that
Yeah.
Lost Boys is kind of not an edgier version of, but counter to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
I wouldn't necessarily put them, but I'm just thinking of like a big
Yeah,
splashy,
for
like you
sure.
can't stop the beat tore the roof off that place every night.
Hmm. And listen, that a cappella vampire drink from our goblet number that tears the roof off as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But what about you guys? How do you feel about this category?
Yeah, I mean, I already spoke about Jalen, so
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
But you
I'm
didn't speak enough about Tim Jackson.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, wait, I mean, if we're going back to how intricate that set is, I mean, everything has to be directed within an inch of its life. That's not
Yeah.
an easy thing to do. There's no fast and loose with it. So I think there's a lot to be said there. I think it's like it's not the five, is it five of them? Six.
Five, yeah.
Five. It's not the five of them that I had necessarily like had written down completely, but the majority of them, yes.
Yeah. Is there, if you were to add somebody, you don't have to say who you would take out, but like, is there anybody from your original predictions you would pluck back in there?
Please hold. I have it pulled up. Do 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 do. How about you, Will? Any thoughts while I'm pulling this up?
I feel like maybe Sam Pinkleton, just based on how excited everyone has been to see what he's got to do.
Yeah. I know that people were there's a large contingency of people that were underwhelmed by Rocky Horror. I think they expected it to be a bit more of an exciting production. Again, like our generation and the generation before us have very fond memories of the Tom Hewitt, Alice Ripley revival. And that was very much like Rocky Horror is on Broadway and it's going to be like grade A musical theater talent and you're going to have call and responses. And this production's a little more muted than that. But
Rachel
Pinkleton
Dratch is there to say, hey, don't do that.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
And they were
yeah,
like, nomination.
Kind of, yeah. Like the nominators were like, "Thank God, I hate audiences."
Somebody had to do something. Here's what I'll say about what I had written down. I had 4, and they're all accounted for.
There you go. I'm going to turn this over to this director of a play now that we're here. We have Nicholas Heitner for Giant, my baby. That being Heitner, not Giant necessarily. Robert Ick for Oedipus, Kenny Leon for The Ballisters, Joe Mantello for Salesman, and Whitney White for Liberation. This is pretty much what I had. I did think that Trip Coleman for Becky Shaw and Debbie Allen for Joe Turner were like on the cusp and could get in there. I think that the ones who were most vulnerable were Heitner and Leon. But with Giant and Ballisters being formidable best play presences, I did not see a world in which they didn't get in. Much as I love Marjorie Prime, I was hoping they would get in for Revival, but I knew Anne Coffin wasn't going to get in. I made peace with it. It's okay. We're all here. We're all happy. And yeah, I mean, somebody mentioned at one point, like, oh, what if Mantello got in twice for Salesman and Little Bear Ridge Road? And I just said, that's a wonderful dream. I don't have many notes on this. You know, I think Liberation is our front runner for play, and you don't get that without a wonderful director at the helm. And I think Whitney White did a beautiful job. I think Heitner does a great job with his ensemble of actors in Giant. Leon, same thing with Ballisters. Like these ensemble shows where everyone has to be catching each other. I very much say you 3 directors do that. Ick for Oedipus, I'm thrilled. That's such a big swing that he took, and I think it hits it out of the park. And then Mantello, this is when you see Salesman. What I say about the Salesman is that it's the most directory that Mantello has been probably since Assassins, and that's really exciting because it reminds you like, oh, he is and always has been that bitch, and he will continue to be that bitch. He just hasn't flexed that muscle in a while, but he's like, no, this is what I can do. I can do her. Yeah.
If I must.
If you want me to blow your minds? If I must. Any surprises here for you lot?
I was actually I was correct.
Real quick, Dot is about to bark a whole bunch. Give me a second.
Go for it, Will. But in that,
yeah, I don't know how because I haven't seen all of them, but I was correct on this list.
Because Rachel, your instincts are great. You have amazing instincts.
Wow, thanks, Matt.
You're welcome. Will, anything here in particular that you were happy or surprised by?
I would have loved to see Debbie Allen for Joe Turner on here. I really did love Joe Turner, and like I also love this list. So I feel good, but I'm also like, oh, but like just one more. I want one more in here.
I feel you. I think Debbie Allen is tricky because as a creative, the Tonys have never really gone for her, whether she was a director or a choreographer. As a performer, I think she's gotten in 3 times, maybe just twice. But I don't believe she ever has
Sweet
been nominated.
Charity and
West Side Story.
the West Side, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it might have just been those 2, but because she did Cat in a Hot Tin Roof, and she didn't get in for that. Famously, her choreography for Carrie was not recognized, which, I mean, talk about most choreography. That I will
Most
always
choreography
be
in
obsessed
musical.
with what she does with that opening number. My God. But yeah, it's just West Side Story and Sweet Charity. But I mean, Debbie Allen is just like this phenomenal talent and wonderful presence. But there's something about her as a director that doesn't connect with everyone in the way that her as a performer always does. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone's ever disagreed that Debbie Allen as a performer is like the shit. But as a director, sometimes not everyone is on board with what she does. I wasn't thoroughly in love with what she did with Joe Turner, but I love that play. So,
Sure.
but that's high risk, high reward with August Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. This is honestly my favorite thing Kenny Leon's done since, God, probably Fences. I don't know. He's struck out for me a bunch post COVID, and this is the first time
Oh,
I
I
was like, oh my
loved
God,
his
Kenny,
stuff on
there you are.
Pearly.
Hmm?
I loved what he did for Pearly.
Oh my God,
Pearly
I forgot about
Victorious.
Pearly. I'm so sorry. I take that
No.
back. My favorite thing he's done since Pearly. Everyone, I'm sorry. That was awful of me.
That's okay. Matt, you can't be expected to remember everything all the time.
Not all the time. I fucking got red because I forgot that Ruben Santiago Hudson won a Tony for 7 guitars in 1996. I openly was like, he
And
hasn't
who
won
did
before.
that to you?
On YouTube, on the Discord, and I was like, guys, my brain is fried. I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head. It's very hard.
No, I think this is a really solid list.
It is. Can we talk about choreography for a second? And then Rachel, I'm going to have you pick the next one. Choreography. Okay. So I have proof on the Discord channel. When Leah didn't get in on CBS for Best Actress in a Musical, I went, does this bode poorly for Lauren Lataro for choreography for Chess? And then when Hannah Cruz got in for featured actress and Bryce Pinkham got in for featured actor, I went, oh, maybe Lauren will get in. But then she didn't. Instead, we have Chris Catelli for Schmigadoon, Eleanor Scott for Ragtime, Ani Taj for Rocky Horror, Omari Wiles and Arturo Lyons for Cats the Jellicle Ball, and Lauren Yolongo Grant and Christopher Krieg Grant for The Lost Boys. I hate to say this, but this category kind of rules. I actually really like every one of these nominees because they all are so different from each other. And
So different.
I think the only one that I'm a little weak on is Ani Taj for Rocky Horror because it's not the most exciting choreo. It is very like community theater, but that's also, again, that's the aesthetic and the vibe of this production. So they did their job. So like, I'm not begrudging the nomination. I think the nomination makes sense. It's
Someone
just
told me that they changed the time warp. Is that accurate?
changed it how? Like, don't do the pulling knees.
No,
and all
it's a
that
jump
stuff?
to the
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's their left. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
don't-
can't remember who told me that. They were like, no, they weren't doing the moves that the time warp. And I was like, why would they do that? But I can't fact check that because we haven't seen it yet. So I'm asking you as somebody who's seen it.
I mean, I don't know. I can't remember now.
I
the
feel like
thing
if
about-
it was different, you would remember. You'd be like, what the hell is this? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
they were, I don't know. I can't remember. If you were the one I was talking to, show yourself. I don't know.
reveal yourselves. It's reveal yourself. But
It's
and I was around like
chocolate.
I was about it's chocolate. I was I was around a bunch of Rocky Horror people, and no one seemed perturbed by it. So I don't think they changed it. I will say it's also a chaotic number, so it's hard to necessarily focus on what exactly the vibes are of or what the moves are of the time warp. It's the choreography is just kind of pure chaos, and again, that's definitely what Pinkleton wants.
Is
So
going for.
the assignment was nailed. The question of, and maybe this is sort of why Pinkleton's not here, of the question then becomes, well, what's the assignment? But yeah, Lauren Lataro was like really the big surprise, I think, for a lot of people. But that's sort of been her narrative for her last like 4 shows of Tommy and Heart of Rock and Roll and this, where it's like, what, Lauren Lataro, they're doing flips, they're tap dancing on bubble wrap, and the nominators keep saying no. So we'll have to wait for the next one, I suppose. Yeah. I mean, again, it doesn't really matter because Jellicle Ball's winning, but here we are.
I mean, it's a shame because Schmigadoon is doing such great dance work.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like you're up against such a force. I just can't imagine Kat's not taking it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, if there is an upset, I do think it is Schmigadoon, but it's
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
For
I think
sure.
the
I guess
nomination
it depends on the voting block of like the classic musical theater because it's classic with a capital C.
1000%.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I think the nomination here is the win for everyone who isn't Jellicle Ball. Okay, Rachel, go forth and prosper. What do we have next?
Okay, wait. Can we talk original music? Because what was going on there? I remember gasping. Best original score.
Yep.
And the first two that they announce are plays.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
It's been a while since we've had that happen.
It's bleak, babe. I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, I get it, but also what? Okay, sorry. You run us through them, Matt.
Oh, okay, sorry, I have to find it myself now. Our best
Here,
score.
I got him if we need him.
Yes, please, Will, go for it.
Hit
Best
us.
original score: Death of a Salesman, Caroline Shaw; Joe Turner's Come and Gone, Steve Barganetti; The Lost Boys, The Rescues; Schmigadoon, Cinco Paul; Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York, Jim Barn; and Kate Buchan. I
Okay.
forgive the pronunciation.
Yes. When Schmigadoon was eligible for score, I wrongfully assumed that would get Queen of Versailles in there for a score nomination because with so few musical options, I figured, oh, they'll really kind of scrape the bottom of the barrel with plays to get in there for score. And then was like, oh, well, no, they'll give a score nomination to Stephen Schwartz. It's going to be his last chance. And I think that cast recording coming out revealed that score is not terrible. It doesn't fully work, but it's not terrible.
No.
Worse scores than Queen of Versailles have been nominated.
Yes.
I'll put it that way. And so I knew Salesman was going to get in, but I figured that was going to be the lone play. I did not expect two plays at this point. So that was definitely a shocker for me.
I'm shocked.
Shooketh.
Yeah. I'm shook.
Yeah. Yeah. I did not have Joe Turner's Come and Gone on my bingo card, and no
Yeah.
one did really.
I literally was like, what score? I saw
But
it.
all of the
Yeah.
transition music that is played, and I'm as a blues guitar nerd,
And you did say that when we were in the theater.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
It
did say that when we
really
were in the theater.
sounds like, and it sounds. I would have sworn that it was existing blues music, but the fact that it's original music is crazy. They nailed the tonality of early 20th century blues that isn't necessarily Delta blues.
Yeah.
I It was
Will,
fun.
you just justified their nomination.
Yeah, thank God you're here because
Thank God we have you here to explain black music to us, because otherwise Ryan
No.
Gosling's busy, so we need someone else.
I'll explain
Help.
jazz next. I just
Thank
need
you,
to rewatch
thank you.
La La Land so I can hear it from an expert.
And then we're gonna shoot you into space.
you like jazz.
I like that. No, you look at it, it's hindsight's 2020. So you look at this, and Will explains very eloquently and beautifully sort of what's going on with Barganetti's score for Joe Turner. Makes sense. I think anyone who saw Salesman and saw sort of how bleak the score lineup was, we all were kind of like, that's going to get in there. A few people thought maybe Proof would get in for score. I'm on record as hoping Mercury Prime would have gotten in, but I also said that knowing it wasn't going to happen. I was being a silly little bitch. I mean, the truth is that I don't know what to tell you here. Like, it's not just the nominees. I don't know what to tell you in terms of a winner here, because while
I'm
Lost
shocked
Boys-
that Schmigadoon is eligible.
same.
Yeah,
I think that's
I love
No,
the score, but
I mean not that I don't like the music. I'm just sort of
Yeah.
like it's just not fair to everybody. I don't know.
It's you know what it's giving? It's giving when State Fair was eligible for score, and they're like, well, there are 4 new songs. I'm like,
yeah, great
Girl,
example.
Be
Yeah.
so for real right
Yeah.
now. I don't know. When
But
we
it's like
saw
original
Two
score
Strangers,
and
when we saw Two Strangers, I mean, I remember even on the subway home, I was like, they could take it.
mhm.
I was like,
They
I
could.
liked all of those songs. I liked the lyrics. I had a really good time with that music. And then I was even in that point thinking like, what the hell is coming that's gonna, like, I don't know. I don't know. But
Yeah, I think that Two Strangers has the best lyrics of this bunch. I
for
think
sure.
Lost Boys has like a really impressive sound about it and makes some big old swings. The thing about Schmigadoon is, so Singo Paul made infamously like tweeted or something about how like there are 11 new songs in Schmigadoon, and the truth is that it's that a lot of those songs pre-existed in the show. They just have new lyrics. Like Mackenzie Kurtz's song is the song from the show, but it's all new lyrics as far as I'm aware. So that's what that is. But I think if it weren't so bleak, they would not have made Schmigadoon eligible. It's just one of those things where like
It's
we
so
need
bleak.
another, yeah, we need another person in here because
And
we're not
I
giving
don't
Monte
want to
Peoples.
say bleak as though the ones that are nominated, like, it's like consolation prizes. Like, I don't feel that way whatsoever. It's just like I want a real competition. I want 5 musicals to be in the best original score category. I don't like when plays are nominated. It makes me upset. I'm upset no matter
I
how
think for
good the
me it's
scoring is.
there are times when a best score nomination comes for a play that I am all in on, but it's very specific. Janine Tesori getting nominated for 12th Night fucking rules.
Mhm.
Stereophonics best
Right.
score nomination fucking rules.
Mhm.
But it's one of those things where like it has to step up to the plate and overtake a contender who's a musical, like
Mhm.
a genuine contender.
Mhm.
And for me, that is like Stereophonic getting in over Water for Elephants for me. I'm like, that's awesome because Water for Elephants is like a genuine score contender. And it's like, no. These songs in Stereophonic are so good and so integral to the success of the show that we have to.
Mhm.
And this is sort of, yeah, as you said, it sort of feels like consolation slots for some of these, not because like they're not solid work, but just because it's very much like there just isn't enough.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like you docked into port on the Queen Elizabeth II. It feels like you are a survivor on the Titanic. It's like, well,
The
we're the
Titan
ones who are left, and
Yeah.
and it's just the truth.
Yep.
It's been a thin year on the new musical front, especially new musical score front. So that's just
Mhm.
a fact. But yeah.
Well, would you like to talk about the instruments in Lost Boys?
Oh, I thought this is. I don't know if this is like props or what exactly. I really liked the use of onstage instruments in Lost Boys
Hmm.
for the sense that it makes sense for 80s guitars
Hmm.
and um like one of the instruments they have is a Gibson Firebird, which is the one that kind of looks like a parallelogram, and it was suddenly popular in the late 70s and early 80s because they were cheap. They were like a failed guitar from the 50s. So nobody wanted them. Metal bands and heavy bands really started picking them up for the cost and because they look cool. And that's when guitars started to get really pointy. But um, while you would think really like pointy angular guitars for the 80s makes sense, they're also playing to now where we don't like instruments that are as pointy. So
Hmm.
it's successfully walking the 80s hard rock scene and now. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, that ties us into as well, by the way, sound design of a musical and orchestrations.
Hey.
Sound design of a musical, Kai Harada, Cat's Jellicle Ball, Kai Harada for Ragtime, Adam Fisher for Lost Boys, so that helps in there as well. Brian Ronan for Rocky Horror, and Walter Trarback for Schmigadoon. Uh, I would say Schmigadoon and Rocky Horror I didn't have on my bingo card, but also I didn't not. It's interesting that Two Strangers isn't in here. I thought maybe that was a easy slot for them to get into. Uh, Basically, as long as Lost Boys and Jellicle Ball were in here, I was happy with
Yeah.
Lost Boys like clearly being the front runner. And then orchestrations. Orchestration is one of my favorite categories that people do not nerd out enough on.
And you're talking to the right man.
Hells yeah! I will say, I sound like such a Queen of Versailles defender. I'm not. I'm more sort of like that show is not the garbage fire people say it was. It just
No.
wasn't good. There's a
Yes.
difference.
And if it had opened in the spring with everything else, we'd be having a very different conversation right now.
Yeah, that's something that people were writing in the Discord of like they also just did not do any campaigning at all. So people didn't feel the need to remember it because they weren't getting, reminded about it. But
Mhm.
I did think that Clancy's orchestrations for Queen of Versailles are great. I'm obsessed with the little flute whirls and caviar dreams. But we have Doug Besterman and Mike Morris for Schmigadoon. Oh boy, Ethan Pop, Kyler England, Adrian A.G. Gonzalez, and Gabriel Mann for the Lost Boys. Lux Pyramid for Two Strangers, Carrie
Great
Kate
name.
York. Lux Pyramid. I know it sounds
Lux
like a drag
Pyramid's a
name.
crazy name.
Mhm.
Brian Yusufer for Chess, and then Angela Weber, David Wilson, Trevor Holder, Doug Schatt. What a terrible last name for Cast the Jellicle Ball.
It's a duality of man. We have Lux Pyramid. And
Yeah,
Doug
I mean,
Schacht.
so here we have three of the best score contenders, so that which tends to happen.
Mhm.
We have Chess, which is not a score contender, not a best revival contender, but is a recalibration of a score that people know very well. And then Jellicle Ball, which absolutely takes a score we all know and turns it on its head. Ragtime, not eligible. They famously are using the original orchestrations. I think they might have like 4 or 5 fewer pieces. So like technically speaking, a reduced chart, but there's no reinvention of the wheel here. People that are out, no Rocky Horror, no Queen of Versailles, no Beaches,
No
no
beaches anywhere, by the way.
yes. Well, yes, we mentioned the Vosk, but yes, no Beaches anywhere. Beaches completely
Anywhere.
shut out. Has anyone got a handle on Playbill or Instagram? Have we gotten any announcements from them in the last like 10 minutes?
You
No.
keep talking, I'll look.
Yeah.
Okay. Will, talk to me about these orchestration nominations. What are we thinking? What are we feeling?
One of my all-time favorite orchestrators, Doug Besterman. I'm always excited to hear what he does. I mean,
Mhm.
if I'm going top 5 orchestrations of all time, his work on the producers might be like could be my number 2. Like his stuff is so good.
Mhm.
And like in the producers with Schmigadoon, along with Mike Morris, he gets to celebrate musical theater in this really rich way. And he's given enough room to really play. I think what he does on Schmigadoon, what the two of them, I'm sorry, I keep treating it like it's one person. What the two of them do on Schmigadoon is really rewarding to someone that celebrates the orchestration category.
Mhm.
That's like,
No, yeah. And I am always impressed with, because obviously with budget constraints and inflation, orchestras are the first thing to get cut down
yeah,
to smithereens and Broadway. So when you have an orchestra that's like under 20, I think in this one it's maybe 15 pieces, 14
it
pieces.
sounds right.
Yeah, it's not fully a small band, but it's not a super large orchestra. They have made it sound quite rich, which is
Mhm.
impressive. I feel the same way about Jellicle Ball. Like Jellicle Ball, I think is 10 or 11 pieces and fully sounds like twice the size. So I'm a big fan of both of those nominations. I think Lost Boys also really good orchestrations on that. I'm sure there are going to be older nominators who are not thrilled with like the loudness of it, but it's an 80s
It's
vibe. It's
by
an 80s mega
design.
music vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a
Um
14-piece band. I'm not sure why that number stuck with me, but a lot of strings in Lost
yeah,
Boys.
I'm thrilled about that. And then yeah, Lux Pyramid for Two Strangers. I think that kind of reinforces that. I would say Two Strangers and Lost Boys are probably the front runners for score, and them getting in for orchestrations here kind of reinforces that for me. Um, and yeah, but also I don't know. Saying that, I don't necessarily think that they are the front runners for orchestrations here either. Like
Mhm.
sometimes the Tonys go weird and they give it to a recalibrated orchestration of music we've already previously heard. In fact, infamously, Will, last season you were very big on Buena Vista Social Club on orchestrations and sound design of a musical, and they won both of those.
Yeah.
You
In a
remembered.
Thank you.
Do I remember? Because when they won both of those things, I remember thinking I should text Will right now because he said on mic like the work they're doing on that. I was like, yeah, it's good, but like, come on, it's probably going to be like Sunset, right? And Will was like, I don't know,
Uh-huh.
and then it happened.
Yeah.
I will
And
continue
the
to say
Grammy.
I don't know, but I
And the Grammy.
I am passionate about what I like.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, and
So
you're so well versed in the music, the intricacies of the music and of musical theater. So
Sure. Gee, thank you.
I
Oh,
would say you know
sorry.
ball. is how I would describe it.
You can't say that around her. She's already
No, Dot, don't listen.
no ball.
No
Okay.
ball.
I know
Let's get to
BALL.
Let's get to some bloodshed categories now. We have we've done all this sound. I think we've done all the tech. We've done lighting, set, costumes. No, we didn't do costumes.
No,
we'll
we
get
have
to-
not.
we
done-
missed
we have
costumes?
not talked costumes yet.
Let's talk costumes in a second because I want to get to some bloodshed categories, primarily featured. So Rachel, featured actor, actress, play musical. What's our
Oh.
direction? Where are we going?
That's on me. Let's talk featured actress in a musical.
Love it. Okay. Read off our nominees, please.
I'm finding it. I was put on the spot. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
I have it if we want
Yeah,
to.
go for it, Will.
Best featured actress in a musical. We have Shoshana Bean in The Lost Boys. We have Hannah Cruz in Chess. We have Rachel Dratch in The Rocky Horror Show. Richard O'Brien's The Rocky Horror Show. The Times missed the name. Anna Gasteyer in Schmigadoon. Nichelle Lewis in Ragtime.
So I'm going to start off for a second and just say, while there are no immediate surprises here, because everyone listed was mentioned at some point as a possibility.
Mhm.
This was also a category where there were like 10 possibilities.
Yep.
So it's more of like, oh, okay, so they did get in over
Mhm.
so-and-so.
Mhm.
I am on record as saying that I really wanted Rachel Dratch to get in for Rocky Horror. I think that she absolutely holds that show together. I've also been on record as saying that I didn't think it was going to happen, but I really wanted Hannah Cruz to get in for Chess. She's my favorite performance in that show. When she did, I screamed bloody murder. I wrongfully assumed that Mackenzie Kurtz was going to get in alongside Anna Gasteyer because I thought
I
they
had
both.
that as well.
Yeah. And I also had Temperance Chastity Moore for Jellicle Ball, while also acknowledging that the word I had on her was that a lot of people were underwhelmed by how she sang Memory. I was a little underwhelmed by how she sang Memory, but I overall found her performance very effective. But
Mhm.
because that role kind of does boil down to the song,
Mhm.
for a lot of people, they go, I can't get past the fact that it's like 10% not where I want it to be vocally. And while I've heard similar qualms with Nichelle Lewis and Ragtime, that's more on a presence front and not on a vocal front. No one has any complaints about how Nichelle sings the role.
Mhm.
It's more of when she shares the stage with Josh, he kind of overwhelms her,
Mhm.
which, could also now translate into maybe she doesn't win. We'll get to that on a later day. But that, I think, ultimately because she does handle the music so well, and this production of Ragtime is very like, let's make sure the music is good. At the very least, she does nail that. For you lot, biggest surprise inclusion, biggest surprise omission.
I was thrilled to see Rachel and Anna both nominated. I said, SNL girlies, we are up. Our stock is up.
We are fed.
Yeah, 100%. I had Anna from the jump. I think I had written down like she's my prediction to take it just in general. I mean, anything can happen between now and then, but I on my list, my dark horse in the race, I was kind of hoping for a Nina White, Queen of Versailles, sneak in. I thought that would have been not only appropriate, but it would have been a nice representation from that show, because I thought she gave an outstanding performance in that role. But not to take away from anybody in the category, I think it all makes perfect sense to me now that I'm seeing it laid out. And again, we haven't seen Chess yet, so that's tough. But everything
Hannah
I've
Cruz is
heard,
Svetlana.
She plays Svetlana, yeah.
yeah.
She shows up in Act 2, at the top of Act 2, and you go, oh, a woman has entered. Like,
Hello?
it's just, oh, God.
Well,
I'm
well,
a fan of her.
you had mentioned that one of her songs
Her
in
song
other
was
versions of Chess,
Someone Else's Story is now someone
Uh-huh.
else's solo.
Yes. God,
Someone
I
who
hate
is
you.
not given
now
a
called-
nomination today.
Exactly. It's now called Someone Else's Solo. Someone Else's Solo.
That would be the
if we
Forbidden
were writing
Broadway.
Forbidden Broadway, yep.
Gerard, baby, hit me up. I'm actually really good at writing parody lyrics. I had some really good ones on my live show on
Well, do
Sunday. I'm
I
not gonna
have a
lie.
best musical nominee for you?
Schmigadoon. The so someone else's story was originally written for Florence. It was
Yes.
it was put in the place of where Nobody's Side currently sits, and they moved
Right.
Nobody's Side to the end of Act 1 originally. Then when they revamped the show post 1988, they put Nobody's Side back where it's always been, and they moved someone else's story to Act 2, tweaked it a little bit, and gave it to Svetlana, where it has basically sat for the last 35 years. And this production was like, okay, we're going to give it back to Florence, and we're going to move it to the end of Act 2. So it's like one step makes sense, one step does not. But even without someone else's story, Hannah Cruz manages to make a goddamn impression. That's
Cool.
she's that
Major.
girl. Yeah, Will, what about you? What lovely surprise and a shocking omish?
I'm so happy to see Anna Gasteyer for Schmigadoon. My concern with Schmigadoon was that with oh my gosh, pardon, I've lost the names with
Yep.
Mackenzie Kurtz, and
Isabel
we've seen
Michaela?
her. Is it Michaela? Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you. I was like,
yeah.
I'm remembering the shows that
God,
I've
she was
seen
so good
them in.
too.
Yeah,
This is tough. This is a tough category.
but because Act 1 is very Mackenzie Kurtz, and then Act 2 is very Isabel McCalla, and I was worried that like that combination plus Anna Gasteyer, who has the big song at the end of Act 2, I was like, are these categories going to kind of pick away at each
Yeah.
other? And I'm happy to see I'm happy to see Schmigadoon represented there at all. I'm very happy that it's Anna Gasteyer, but I'm sad to see.
Yeah, I'm sad that Mackenzie isn't in there. I made peace that Izzy was not going to get nominated. I think she's personally giving my favorite of the featured actress performances. And listen, I'm a big Izzy stan. I've been a stan of her since The Prom, but I also have maintained that like she does exceptional work with roles that are not up to her talent level. Like I think that
Yeah.
Water for Elephants is an immensely underwritten role that she turned into gold. The
Yeah.
Prom, Alyssa Green is a very small role that she turned into gold. And then I actually think she has good material for Schmigadoon, but what she's doing isn't as like bold as what Mackenzie and Anna are doing. And so I can understand why nominators maybe don't recognize the skill level of what she's doing. That's not a dig at nominators. Like that, this happens all the time. And we'll talk about this with featured actor as well. But watching her, I was like, she's giving my favorite performance here, and it's not going to get recognized, which is why I put her in my
really excellent
funny category.
Yeah, I think if she had something to do in the first act, and if Mackenzie had something to do in the second act, this would be a totally different conversation. But it just is what it is.
It is what it is. I'm confident that Mackenzie and Izzy will have their day in the sun soon. I think this show has been a nice level up for both of them.
Yeah.
And I think Anna has a good shot in this category because if Schmigadoon ends up being a real formidable best musical contender, that's very helpful for Anna. If it ends up being Lost Boys, that's really good for Shoshana, who I've always maintained she was going to get in here. I said on Mike 2 days ago, like if LJ got in for lead actor, then I was just going to be like, well, Shoshana's winning now because clearly Lost Boys has registered so well for them. Him not getting in is not a surprise to me, but it does make me go, okay, Shoshana went from me like 100% certain to me to like 75%. But also like I probably would take out Nichelle and put in Izzy Michaela if I'm being like very honest to my personal tastes. Because otherwise this is a really good lineup. I mean, I don't want to take out Anna because I like her in Schmigadoon, but if you were to say, Matthew, you need to put in someone from either Titanic or Queen of Versailles, I would probably take out Anna and put in Nina White or Melissa Barrera, who similarly to Izzy and Schmigadoon has a very tricky role that does not often get the chance to be like the bold, funny one. But I think what she does with Rose is really strong, and she sounds good, and she also looks stunning. But that's not what the role, what the
Neither here
title
nor
of the
there.
category is.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking
We've got two
featured.
Alpha Buzz with Shoshana Bean and Anna Gasteyer.
Yes, we do. We have two from Alpha Blaze. Featured actor in a musical. We have Ali Louis. How do you say his last name?
I,
Borsky? Borsky?
that if I were to guess Borsky, but I'm not
Borsky.
sure.
I want to say Ali Louis Borsky. For the Lost Boys, Andre DeShields for Cast the Jellicle Ball, Bryce Pinkham for Chess, Ben Levi Ross for Ragtime, Leighton Williams for Titanic. I have my, oh, that did happen, and fuck yeah, that happened.
Please.
My, oh, that happened is Bryce Pinkham for Chess.
Sure.
Which, listen, there's a specific Discorder who's listening to this going like, Matthew, I told you. Matthew, I told you. He was wrong about some other things, but he was right about this.
Hey. And flowers for them.
Yes, here's your flowers. I'm going to be very cunty for a second and say I truly think the reason why Bryce is in here is because he's talented and well-liked and professional and respected, and nominators saw him and went, Bryce, I'm so sorry for what they're making you do. Here's your nomination. You are surviving what they are making you do. Here you go.
Nurse.
I love the man. And he sounds great. He fucking pisses all over the Arbiter song. But what they make him twerk, they give him the stupidest jokes, and he walks out with his head held high, and I go, you, sir? Yes, you like Purple Heart. He also does closes out the show, which is, I know, vicious. I'm vicious, but so I'm not upset he's in here. But I was sort of like, oh, and then in my postmortem, I'm like, oh, I guess that's why. My fuck yeah, that happened is Leighton Williams for Titanic. I threw my pen and I went, we did it, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy.
Same but different. Yep. No, 100%. I think it's so deserved. So deserved. It's
talk to me. What are we thinking for you two with this category?
I think I pretty much had this list, except for in the Titanic slot, I did put Jim Parsons just for the Jim Parsons of it all. Yeah. But I wanted, my heart of hearts, I wanted Leighton Williams. So that was a good feeling. And go with your gut kind of thing. Like, just be loud and wrong instead of doing what you think other people are going to do. I'm glad to see the Lost Boy. How do we say his name? It's Ali Louis
Borsky, which is probably wrong. When he possibly wins on June 8th or 7th or June 7th, I will make sure that I say it correctly, because also he's very talented and
he's incredible. We saw him off Broadway last season in We Live in Cairo, and like blew my mind. I think he's so talented. And his voice is so gorgeous. And I just think I love the theater going, Michael. Oh, Michael. You do it well. You do it.
Michael, I have the rest of my line that I need to say to you. And it's like, I don't know. It was fun. It was fun to walk around the house.
He's a vampire. He has time.
Yeah, he's got time.
He's got time. Yeah, it's so easy to go like over the top and kitschy with a role like that. And I think he has one foot in both worlds of like, he's absolutely queening out while also not going overboard. You know what I mean?
He's tormented but enjoying it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's absolutely got demons, but he's dancing with them. That's how I would describe what Ollie's doing with the role of David. He's like, yeah, I've got baggage, but it's Louis Vuitton. It's like, he's being an absolute fag in the best way. And I was very, very impressed with what he did. Yeah. Someone texted me like, oh, like Ben Levi Ross got in there. I was like, yeah, he got in there. He was like, he and Andre were the only two that I was like putting money down on of like, they're absolutely going to be in here.
Yeah.
There are a few folks that I was sad to see miss out.
He knows how to blow stuff up.
Oh, he knows how to blow stuff up. It's true. I was a little disappointed that we couldn't get Junior LaBeija in here for Jellicle Ball.
Yeah.
Cindy James Harcourt for Jellicle Ball, but ultimately, no musical has multiple nominees. So if we're spreading the wealth, like it is going to be Andre.
Only Ragtime for leading man
actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's the truth. No. I was just even talking feature, but yeah, like no musical other than Ragtime for actor has multiple nominees. in one category. I don't even think in the plays. Oh no, Fallen Angels. We have 2 in Fallen Angels for one
Right.
category, but I think that's it. Yeah. Any other omissions in featured actor that we want to pay homage to who didn't get in here?
Did I have? I think that's what I had written down. Oh, Max Clayton and Schmigadoon.
Yeah.
I thought he was giving a really charming performance. I really enjoyed him.
He's very good. I think that was another one similar to Mackenzie of once Act 2 happens, he doesn't have
He's
as
gone.
much
He
to
dies.
do. Yeah. He dies.
Well,
He dies.
and then my favorite
Fel-
part of Schmigadoon as a whole is when he comes down from the ceiling as a little baby angel
Mm-hmm.
with the like
you love
pipe
somebody entering in a funny way.
with the pipe clear. I love well because everybody's on stage at that point, and I was like, oh man, they're not going to bring Max Clayton back. And then as I had that thought,
They
he
do.
descended from the ceiling. I was like, let's go.
This is
I
for
love
quite a
it.
few shows this season bringing the dead back for the finale. You know, this, Lost Boys, Ragtime, Titanic. I mean,
what are you gonna do? You know?
yeah, if Beaches wanted to keep to get better
Chess.
reviews, they should have had Kelly Barrett They should have had Kelly Barrett come on for Wind Beneath My Wings and start duetting with Vosk. Then they would have gotten better reviews.
It might have been more interesting.
Yeah, and they would have brought her out in a gown so she doesn't have to bow in her hospice outfit. You know, it's just things to think about. Give Kelly Barrett some grace. If we're making Bryce Pinkham twerk. He's tweaking while he's twerking.
I thought she
Let
gave
Kelly
a great
Barrett come out in a fucking Givenchy gown.
I thought she gave a great performance.
She works very hard in a role that does not help her at all.
Beaches was tough.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. So we said Max, Parsons. Yeah. I know. Connor McDowell, I'm sorry, baby, but Constantine Rizzulli did not end up getting in today, but he got in for book, so that's nice. Yeah,
For his brain.
Yes, for his brain, not for his ass. I'm sure he would love to have gotten recognized for both, but what can you do?
Hey.
Yeah, I think this is a lineup that makes sense to me. I'm still kind of trying to make peace with Bryce Pinkham's nomination, not because of Bryce, but because of what they make him do. So I'm viewing it as Bryce objectively is good in a show that is trying to destroy him, and he doesn't get destroyed. He not only survives, he thrives, and for that we say, you know what? You are. It's as if like when Meryl Streep makes her Sophie's Choice and her daughter doesn't end up dying at the end of the movie. It's like that's Bryce Pinkham. It's like, oh, they took you away from Meryl's arms, and yet you made it to the end of the film. Here's your Tony. So that's what I'm going to say
Sophie's
about that.
chess.
Sophie, fuck you. I gave you the worst analogy ever, and you still were able to come up with a really good joke. Fuck you.
I'm mad.
I'm so mad. This is the genius of both of you.
No, this is what he does all day.
All day long. Well, let's go into costume before we get into featured actress, and then we'll get into the rest of this stoof. Okay. Costume design, we have costume design
of a player.
Of play and musical. We'll do back to back. Brenda Abandandolo for Dog Day Afternoon, Queen Jean for Liberation, Jeff Mashi for Fallen Angels, Emilio Sosa for The Ballisters, Paul Tazwell for Joe Turner's Come and Gone. Then for musical, we have Linda Cho for Ragtime, Linda Cho for Schmigadoon, Queen Jean for Cats of the Jellicle Ball, Ryan Park for The Lost Boys, and David Reynoso for Rocky Horror Show. I'll say up front, Emilio Sosa for Ballisters. Surprised. Not unhappy, but surprised.
I said the same thing because it's so rare that contemporary costumes get any sort of recognition whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I was saying this sort of in our live earlier of like, I have worked in the neighborhood that show takes place for a very long time. And I know that neighborhood quite well. And that is how those people dress. Like, it's so accurate outside of the fact that, it's being recognized at all.
Hyper specific.
Yeah, hyper specific. I was like even down to like some of the it's like I know where you shopped to get that outfit. Okay.
Yeah, you mentioned like everyone's bags, right?
Yes,
that they
the
came in
bags,
with.
all of it. Yeah, all the little details of like, yeah, this is how people in that neighborhood in Brooklyn dress.
Yeah.
100%.
It's
they're
such an
and they're
awesome.
going into the restaurant that I wait tables at afterwards to have dinner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, it's. I think this is such an awesome nomination. Again, I wasn't expecting it, but I think it's
No.
so awesome. I'm thrilled that we are slowly but surely edging into more contemporary costume designs for nominations. We had Hell's Kitchen, and I mean, maybe Happy Ending doesn't really count, but sort of does at the same time. It's not like while it's futuristic, it's not like super futuristic design. So seeing the
It's subtle
nominations like that,
future.
yeah.
the
Thank
maybe
you.
Happy Ending costume design reminded me of like when you're starting The Sims and you prick
Mhm.
like randomize. There was like an element of that. Maybe not as
Yeah.
crazy, but I was just sort of like, I was like, oh, I've seen these outfits before, but they were on The Sims.
Exactly. Just because it's post 1970 doesn't mean it's not a worthwhile design or like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Agreed.
mean, yeah, because otherwise it is mostly period. Dog Day Afternoon and Liberation are the 70s.
Yeah.
Queen Jean's costumes for Liberation are great. We were talking about this with Juan Ramirez. Both Liberation and the Ballisters for me here, what makes them so fantastic is that they don't feel like costumes, they feel like clothing. But
Mhm.
and to do that and not draw attention to it, or like make a show of it, I think is exceptional, nuanced work. And I'm glad that it was recognized. And then Paul Tazwell, we love him. I'm not the biggest fan of the design of Joe Turner, but that those costumes I think do nail the era pretty well, and also have a specific voice for each character, which is
Mhm.
helpful. And then Fallen Angels. I mean, if only we could all look like Kelly O'Hara and Rose Byrne when we're horny and drunk,
I do in my head.
There's who I think I look like when I'm drunk and horny, and then there's what the rest of the world sees.
Expectation versus
Yeah.
Yeah,
reality.
yeah, bad.
Yeah, anything here in costume for a play that we're like, other than, Liberation and Ballisters that we're super hopped up on or want to make a note of?
I thought the Dog Day costumes were great.
Yeah.
I love a man in high-waisted pants.
I do love a man in high-waisted pants. I really liked Jessica Hecht's outfit. I thought that was prime.
Yeah. I thought I'd actually seen people coming out of Dog Day talking specifically about the costumes and the costume design and like liking seeing oh my god, what's the lead actor's name who I love so much?
John Bernthal.
Yes, yeah, sorry. I was
Mhm.
like I was gonna say his like character name. Sonny. No, it's not even right.
Sunny all the way.
Sunny all the way. About like seeing him in those pants, which is normally your job, Matt. Normally you're the one to point out a man in great pants.
I don't know what you're referring to. Like I'm some horny little monster who only sees men below the waist. My
And play
God.
back the clip of us talking about Camelot. Why don't you insert the clip? Clip it.
Stop you.
Clip
Stop
it.
you. And you're trying to ruin me.
I'm
and
never
I
gonna be
don't
invited back.
never Listen, Andrew Burnap
Thank
is
you.
safe in his home. He doesn't have to worry about me. It's fine.
March
It's okay.
safe. Like
I always feel like people like, do these actors know how you feel about them? I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm never going to actually talk to them. I don't care. I want to see them perform, and I want to see them in their tight pants. That's all I care about.
hey, you gotta get
I
it.
don't think. Yes, and I don't think. Well, no, that I lied. We do have some tight pants coming up in our next one, which is costume design of a musical. As I said, Ragtime, Schmigadoon, Jellicle Ball, Lost Boys, Rocky Horror. There is some male objectification going on in this category, and I am here for all of it.
And that's just feminism.
That is feminism, yeah. I learned about that.
We're finally getting there. Tell me
Yes.
about that.
Equilibrium slowly happening.
As your resident woman, I think we should all be objectified equally. No,
You're my token woman, Rachel. Come on.
not token. Oh my god, what happened? What happens to your life?
I don't know. I don't want to think about my life right now. Okay. Here, honestly, no surprises here for me either. There was a time we were talking about this on Sunday of like, could Queen of Versailles get in there before all of the, French garbs and Kristen's gowns? There was the elephant in the room of, William Ivy Long unofficially being on that ticket even though he wasn't listed in the playbill, but we all know.
Yeah. What the hell? I don't know. Go on. I'm
I thought he
sorry.
was credited for it.
I
I
don't
don't
think
believe so.
Oh.
Christian Cowan, I think, is credited solely, but it's one of those things where it's like we all knew. And in fact, like I said this before, when I was at Sherry's first performance, William Ivy Long was in the lobby talking to the production team. I'm like, yeah, no, it's you guys are not helping matters. You're very much making it clear that he worked on this. But that said, he did not get in, or they did not get in, and it's okay because I think if anybody took that slot, it was Lost Boys, but I'm not mad about Lost Boys' nomination. I think they dress. Okay, here's where I'm going to be who Rachel says I am. The way they dress Ali, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Here we go. That's they do it. They dress him for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then they flick him around the ceiling.
yeah. I would maybe ding for them for the rainbow flag superheroes in Act 2, but
Did that stay in?
it stayed in.
Did they add the song that gives it context in the first act, or is that still gone?
There was a song in Act 1 that had context to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Ben Pajak, as far as I'm aware, didn't have a song in Act 1 outside of the opening number, from what I recall. It's just that he likes comic books.
And
So
Rob.
yeah,
Yep. Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yeah, that's true.
Got it. Noted. Heard.
Well, it's fine.
Well,
It's fine.
Moving on.
They
They got
do-
to have
they
some
they had to
Comic-Con
work-
outfits from Boop. That's cool.
All right. Bye. Thank
Comic-Con.
you.
Bye.
Enjoy the
Done.
rest of the
It's been a
chat.
great day, everybody. Thank you so much. I mean, again, it's all for naught because Queen Jean is winning for Jellicle Ball. There's no way they're not. Those costumes decorate that show in a way that are just exceptional. I think Linda Cho's costumes for Schmigadoon are actually really lovely. I know some people don't love the costumes for that. I do. I think they nail the
What's not
assignment.
to love? Like what did they want? What did they want to see?
What do you want? What are you waiting for? That's my Jennifer Love Hewitt. What are you waiting for?
More
I like the
gingham?
costumes.
Like what the hell are we talking?
I don't know. I don't know what they want, what they expected. I think the
Leave
costumes.
it in the comments. What did you want?
Yeah, put in the Discord channel or on YouTube. Tell us, what did you want from those costumes for Schmigadoon? Because I think Linda Cho gave it to
Nailed
us.
it. Linda Cho's
Yeah.
so great.
And the only reason I would maybe say she could win is because Linda Cho tends to win. Like, Linda Cho comes to Broadway, she goes, all I do is win, win, win.
Great
But
Gatsby's one Tony win.
is Linda Cho. And then
Linda Cho
also
for
Gentleman's
costume.
Guide. Nominated for Anastasia, but did not win for that. So I do think that I think she is the only potential upset to Jellicle Ball, I'm ultimately sticking with my Jellicle Ball. Yeah, like there's no one else here that I would swap out of here, really.
Yeah.
My Queen of Versailles prediction was more sort of, that wasn't what I wanted. That was like my cynical edge. So I'm not mad Lost Boys is in here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Queen
I
of
like
Versailles
that Lost Boys. Go. No.
Queen of Versailles would have been cool in the sense of it being a more contemporary costume nomination.
Yeah. And then Will, you were going to say?
I like that Lost Boys could, go down the route of, the Final Fantasy trap where it's like, look at all these zippers and like crazy things that there's so much of, like Tommy Wiseau wearing the multiple belts where it's like, look how different this is, to show how different these characters are. But
Tommy Wiseau.
It feels weird to say that the Lost Boys has this
2026.
sense of restraint.
Mm-hmm.
With my bad taste, I would have gone way worse.
Yeah. Not a lot of shoulder pads, not a lot of neon. It's like I feel like the costumes offset how like bold the lighting and set are. Like the costumes are more restrained, I think, to balance that out. I think they're.
I mean, there was some of that in the ensemble, but that's kind of fun. Like I like it. Just adds that little pop of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
The diversity of people on the boardwalk. That makes sense.
Sure.
1000%. Yeah. And the Elviras and the Draculas. That's fun, cute little kitschy things there. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to our blood-soaked categories. Back to featured. We have featured actress in a play and featured actor in a play. Rachel, which one do you want to start off with first?
Let's do featured actress in a play.
Okay. Do you have that pulled up? Do you want to?
I have leading, direction, featured actor, featured actress. Okay.
Okay.
I I might say some of them wrong. It's Betsy Adom. Betsy Adom for Liberation.
Yeah.
Mary Louise Burke for the Ballsters. Aya Cash for Giant. Laurie Metcalf, Death of a Salesman. And June Squibb for Marjorie Prime. June Squibb.
Squib Game.
Squib
God.
Game.
June Squibb,
Yay.
officially the oldest Tony nominee in history.
96.
Beat Lois Smith for The Inheritance. And I believe, as Sam Ekman said in an older episode, the irony of that is Lois Smith was Marjorie Prime in Playwrights Horizons in, what was it, 2012 or something?
Wow.
Yep. It's
Wow.
it's all interconnected. It's
What
a
a
conspiracy.
squib thing to do.
I
That's
know.
classic squib.
It's classic Squig. Here's the thing.
Classic.
I love every single woman in this category. I wanted every single one of them to get in. I would have loved there to be a tie so we could have 6 and Cynthia Nixon could get in. Because my God, was Cynthia Nixon extraordinary in Marjorie Prime.
She really was.
Yeah.
She really was.
Yeah.
I loved
like-
Jessica Hecht in Dog Day Afternoon.
I liked Hecht a lot. I had said I didn't really buy into that she was going to get nominated more than I was just like, every time I count Hecht out for something, she gets in there. So I was like, it was that little nagging bug in the back of my brain. She does do a good job. Similar to John Bernthal, I'm just like, the play doesn't help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the one who's like, say Attica. I said, what?
From behind them of Attica.
Why is that her idea?
Because
But that's
Rachel,
not her
feminism.
fault.
Because feminism.
Equal rights.
Yeah, it's like liberation.
And equal wrongs. Hey.
What's that tweet? I don't support all women. Some of you bitches are dumb.
Well, hold on. That's not what I'm saying.
Isn't it? So you support Erica Kirk is what you're saying.
In her way. Canceled. No.
I support her right to be Erica Kirk.
I think she's in a grief psychosis right now, and I hold space for that. But I don't think that she should be given a microphone or fireworks. But that's...
Listen, some people shouldn't be given microphones. People are still debating if I should have had one all along, but that's the journey we're on today.
3 years.
We are Mary Louise Burke.
We carry the Ballsters.
Ballsters.
Why can't I say that?
We don't see the car.
Do you want to explain that joke to the uncultured fucks, Will? What was that reference just then?
Don't make him explain We Are Charlie Kirk.
No.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you never heard that? Somebody made like a parody song after I don't even know that it was a parody, but it's become, I think for some people it's satire and for some people it is not. But it's it's the song is We Are Charlie Kirk, We Carry the Flame.
Yeah.
Yeah. You brought up Erica Kirk. I didn't bring up Erica Kirk. You know what I mean? This isn't on me.
I was going to say it's as if liberation didn't even happen because of the way you were speaking about women, Rachel, but I digress.
Equal rights and equal wrongs.
Listen, I'm a Hecht head, and she did lovely. But yes, why did she have to come up with the idea of Attica? Let the gay man come up with the idea for once. We have ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with
also in not in this category, Miss Carrie Young for Proof.
Yes.
Which there was did you guys get to see Proof?
Not yet, no.
Okay. This production of Proof proves that it is indeed quite a good play. It's not a bad production. It's just sort of their production. I described it as sort of like a very strong college production of Proof. It's the acting is mostly good. I think Kara's absolutely like the strongest of the lot, but they don't really bring anything to the table that's exciting. And there was the thought that, like Jessica Hecht, you never count out Kara Young. She is the best one in the show. She is very well liked. I'm like, wouldn't it just rule for her to get 5 nominations in a row in the same category? Like, I think that would have actually been a new record.
I mean,
yeah,
insane.
And she was a last-minute replacement too.
That's true.
But
that's when everybody was like, she's gonna do it.
she's gonna do it. She's gonna make it happen. No, ultimately, but also I'm I should let you guys talk now. I want to hear who you're happy about in here and who you would have liked to have seen. But I also just want to say really fast, thrilled about Mary Louise Burke for Ballisters.
Mm.
She's so good in it, and yeah,
So
and
funny.
so funny, and it's about time she got properly recognized. Also, people kept telling me I should get ready for heartbreak about this, but I am thrilled. Aya Cash got in for Giant. Not only do I like her as a performer, not only do I think she's great in the show, but her hair and her shoes and her dress are all some shade of red, and none of it clashes, and that's a fucking miracle. And I put that all on her shoulders, not the designer's shoulders. I'm convinced that Aya Cash came in with her own outfit and said this.
Very, very Elaine Stritch, pal Joey.
1000%.
the Dior suit stay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny.
But talk to me. Who are you happy to see here? Who are you sad to see out?
I think Mary Louise Burke should win just for her pronunciation of the word robot, in which she calls it a robot.
A robot.
They make
She's like,
robots?
They make robots? I literally was, I had tears running down my face in the seat. I was the only one who was laughing at it. You know when you are suppressing
You
a laugh?
wrote it down
so
after.
I did.
You did?
Yeah, because we take little notes, and
Yeah.
I was like, don't forget, because I enjoyed it so much. So just for that alone, that's my... And then June Squibb. I was really hopeful for June Squibb, but you never know. It's such a... There's just so much competition, and you just sort of are like, are they going to do it?
Yeah.
Or not? Whatever. You know what I'm saying.
Especially because it was looking like the people were forgetting about Marjorie Prime, and so I got very, very nervous it wasn't going to happen.
That's the theme of the play.
That people forget about Marjorie Prime, or that people just forget.
They're forgetting. We have to remind them.
We have to remind them. Yeah, I mean, and that's why when she and Danny both got in, I went, "Oh, okay, maybe revival's going to happen."
Mm-hmm.
And then it didn't. But no, I was very...
There were too many.
Too many. I was very happy to see her in here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we got Lori, who is, I think, probably going to win, and by probably I mean definitely. Which is I'm not mad about. She's wonderful in Salesman.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this actually might be my favorite category this year. This definitely is my favorite best featured actress in a play lineup in a long time. I love every woman here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Will, what about you? Any thoughts?
It's a great category. I want to give flowers for Mary Louise Burke, and also for a line that she has. Without spoiling the plot of one of the changes in the show, someone says something to her that is a callback earlier, and she so lovingly goes, "You bitch," and it's like there's so much love and playfulness. Like it felt like the early seasons of Just Shoot Me, where it's like everybody is friends, they can fight, but they are still friends. And that was like a world building line reading. I thought that was lovely.
Is something that play did very well. You're never really concerned that it's all going to fall apart because of the way that those sort of relationships exist in real life. Like if you're attending meetings like that, it's like things would have to escalate so insanely to take any sort of little petty thing and really run with it, rather than just to sort of have to sit with it. And there's something so fun about that, because I feel like typically in plays that's not where that goes. So I don't know if any of that made any sense, but that is what I enjoyed about that play.
No, I absolutely understand that. Yeah. I also, when she asks towards the end of the play, one character how their wife is doing, that was a very beautiful moment. Like that happened. I was just like, yay! I also want to give a shout out to Margaret Colin, who has one of my favorite lines in the play, which is they have to make a very important vote, and a character abstains, and she says, "Geez, even her votes are non-binary." And I was like,
amazing line.
David Lindsay Abaire, you fucking genius.
I love
That's
him.
amazing.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, this is listen, respect for those we don't have in here. Also,
Mm-hmm.
Anne Reid for Oedipus, also wonderful
Mm-hmm.
performer. Madeline Brewer and Linda Emond and Lauren Patton for Becky
Becky
Shaw,
Shaw.
all three wonderful. I mean, Becky Shaw is just a really wonderful ensemble of people.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we had the actress playing Martha in Joe Turner's Come and Gone. She's really lovely in that show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's if you don't get in here, just look at the five we have and just be like, damn, like
Yeah.
bangers, all of them. And it's if you got in, I think you should feel fed for a year. And if you didn't get in, you should be able to sleep knowing like, how could I? Look at that.
Did my
Look at that.
best. Yeah.
Exactly. I did my best. It's
This
really
wasn't your
difficult.
year.
Yeah. Featured actor in a play. Miss Rachel, would you mind reading us off this category?
I could try my best. Christopher Abbott, Death of a Salesman. Danny Burstein, Marjorie Prime. Brandon J. Is it Durden?
Durden, yeah.
Waiting for Godot. Alden
Ehrenreich.
Thank you. Becky Shaw, Ruben Santiago Hudson, Joe Turner's Come and Gone, and Richard Thomas for the Ballsters.
Mm-hmm.
Ballsters?
Ballisters.
Ballisters. I'm never going to get it. That'll be my running joke for the whole season. I'm never going to get it.
Yeah, running jokes.
Can you believe I grew up in a ranch style house? I don't know how to say
the running joke for the rest
Wait,
of the
how's it pronounced?
Rachel's not knowing how to say ballisters. I'm talking about men's pants, and Will's going to talk to us about jazz. That's like the running joke for the rest of Tony season.
Hey.
Talk to me, guys. I mean, I know that we're running at a deficit with some of the plays this year, but like off of vibes, what are we feeling?
I mean, when I saw Joe Turner's Come and Gone, I said, Ruben's taking. I said, I don't even care about the other plays. He's taking it. The performance that he was giving was so, like it felt like he was coming out of the earth. Does that make any sense? Like it was like so visceral and human and like salt of the earth and like and humorous, and it was everything at once. I don't know. I don't know if that's typically a part that gets celebrated in that way, or if he was taking a part and like really making it something. So I read Joe Turner's Come and Gone in college, but I'd never seen it staged. So when I had read it, I really didn't think, I could have never imagined what he did with it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I was very taken aback and impressed by the performance. So that was my he's a lock for me. I was really happy to see Danny Burstein. I thought he gave like an incredibly I said, we can't keep doing this to him. Yeah. We can't keep doing this to him. Who's doing this? Is he seeking it out or are they seeking him? Because we can't. It's abusive. I think it's a
toxic codependent relationship.
As an audience member, I said, I can't keep watching him live all of this out again. This is, I don't know. But excellent.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm like, can we let him just like go to the country for 3 months and sleep? And then, wouldn't that be nice? But then we wouldn't get his beautiful performance in Marjorie Prime.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a selfish.
Yeah. Will, any standouts for you?
I was also for Ruben Santiago Hudson. That's a part that can get so like you want to luxuriate in the weirdness of that character in that world, and he felt normal in it so that everyone else could think that he was weird.
Yeah. I walked out of Joe Turner and I was like, if there's one person in this production I am confident about, it's Ruben. I mean, it is. I do think it is the role of the show, but
I agree.
Again, that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything. It's a high risk, high reward. Like you have the best role, don't squander it. Now, of course, Ruben Santiago Hudson doesn't know how to squander opportunity. He's like, I'm sorry, I fulfill your expectations every time. What's so hard? I bring it to you every ball. But but still, you know what I mean? So I'm thrilled he's in here. If this is our only tie in a performance category this season. After last year, we had lead actor and I think featured actor in a musical both, or no, lead actor in a play and lead actor in a musical both were ties with 6. This is our only performance category that has 6. And if I were to put money on it, I would probably say Brandon J. Dearden for Waiting for Godot and Richard Thomas and the Ballisters probably were the ties. I'm not mad about it. I'm actually really happy Thomas is in here for the Ballisters. I loved what he did with that role. It would have been so easy to try to be overly annoying, like, yeah, evil, like white guy
Mhm.
president. And he really goes, I said, like, he goes for 1950s soda jerk, emphasis on the jerk. But, like with a smile on your face as he gives you the sundae, he's like, oh, and by the way, I will be calling your mother as you head home to tell her that you skipped school to have ice cream here today, but thank you for the $1.50.
Mm.
It's just like that kind of energy, which I thought was really fantastic. And the play would not, but the balance of everything wouldn't work if he wasn't both so endearing and so like fucking annoying,
Mhm.
You need that
Y
tension.
You can
Mhm.
100% see where he's coming from and understand it, even if you don't agree with it, which I
Yeah.
appreciate in a villain. And villain is
1000%.
what's so funny? We saw it on a night where there was, it was like,
There's a much
MTC does
younger audience.
yeah, MTC does, like 30 under 30, and they do, invites for young people, um,
Hmm.
and we saw it on a night that was a lot of young people, and we were talking to some people who work on the show afterwards, and they were like, we were getting applause on lines that like nobody ever applauds for. And it's because the audience perspective was that of younger people. So I think a lot of
Hmm.
people go in and see him and like really relate, which is crazy because
Hmm.
obviously the three of us are in the younger category. Thank you very much.
Hmm.
Um,
Thank you.
but I thought
Famously
that
young.
yes. I've actually the youngest person ever, which is wild.
You haven't even been born yet. It's crazy what you're able to do.
Thank you. I look great. But yeah, I thought that was so interesting that like it's a complete different interpretation depending on how old you are and what your experience of life is. So we're sitting here being like, oh, he's the villain, and a lot of people are like, I relate to that guy. So and
Yeah.
that might be why he got nominated. I have no idea. Do you know what I mean? I think that's very
Yeah.
interesting.
I mean, I think that's what makes it really strong writing and a great performance is I think I can relate to some of the things that he talks about while I also think that he's objectively the villain of the piece. I mean,
100%.
if you watch someone be an asshole on stage and you can't find like a sliver of yourself in them, then chances are you have no self-awareness and you actually are just like a genuine villain of life. Uh, because like we all have the potential to be the villain of someone else's story and you see where he's coming from and you're like, I get it. Here's where I think you're off track and also where
Oh
what you're
no.
doing actually is now manipulation. The rest of this category though, I will say,
Yeah. Did my
happy
phone
Brandon J.
die?
Dearden is in here.
Shit.
I was not a fan of this Waiting for Godot, but I think he nails what um Jamie Lloyd was trying to do. Christopher Abbott, I need to go back and see Salesman because when I saw it, it was still like early enough in previews. I didn't feel like he had found Act One yet. So I'd like to see what he does with some time. And then Alden Ehrenreich and Becky Shaw is just like chef's kiss, perfect, no notes. And really, oh no, I think Rachel's frozen on my end.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering if she was going to come back, but we lost her.
Yeah, we lost her. She's coming back. She's coming back. But yes, Alden Ehrenreich and Becky Shaw, I think is such a fantastic performance. I would probably vote for him, if not for Ruben. Those are sort of who I'm boiling it down to, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah. Um, is there anybody who's not here, Will, that you are?
Gosh. I know that it's not a role that would get nominated, but I think it's funny that the actor playing Alan in The Ballisters is not nominated. It's like, that that character would wake up today and be like, they forgot me again. Ugh. And like be so frustrated by it.
Yeah.
Be like, this was on purpose. But like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
everyone was lovely. It's
Yeah, the one who has the monologue about like I'm trying to be a good person and everyone
yeah.
calls me a villain. Yeah, yeah.
It's like everyone decided like we're not friends with Alan anymore. And
Mhm.
it's that character would be having a bad day. But
Yeah.
everyone
Who's
should
missing
feel good.
here? Elliot Levy for Giant. Just because he won the Olivier, I'm pretty sure, when the show was in London, and
Sure.
he's not here, which
I'd be
is a
interested in seeing
shame.
how the parallels between um where that show was nominated for Olivier's and what was nominated for Tony's today. I'd be curious to compare those.
Yeah, I mean, I know play, actor, I think featured actress as well, maybe director in London. I think Heitner won director over there. So it might be that Elliot's the only one from the Oliviers who isn't here, but I would imagine, yeah, I think that's the only one. But
We're so back.
there she
I'm
is.
so sorry.
We're so back.
She's so back, baby. We were just talking about someone who's not here in featured actor in a play is Elliot Levy for Giant, who I believe won the Olivier for the role last
Ooh,
year.
interesting.
Yeah. But this is also why I always talk about how like the Oliviers can help sort of give you a shape of what when productions come over here. You can go like, okay, so like the Oliviers like so and so. That doesn't make them a lot, but it gives you an idea of maybe like who are the standouts in the production.
Mm-hmm.
It's different competition, different mindset from voters. But it happens sometimes where like someone will win the Olivier and come over here and they don't get nominated, or they get nominated over there and don't get nominated here. Elena Roger in Evita,
Sure.
David Thaxton for Sunset Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
These things do happen, but so if that was just
Justin
interesting.
Andrew or Lloyd Webber shows.
Yeah.
Justin Angelo Rubber shows, yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
No
look at
other
me.
shows get performed.
Yeah, we
There are
don't.
no
I don't
other
know of any other
revivals.
English shows unless Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote it. Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote Giant, didn't he?
In a way.
But it was one of the names for By Jeeves.
It was Giant.
By
Giant.
Jeeves, my God.
It's been 84 years since I heard that name.
Almost.
Okay, I think that's it for the featured performances. Quickly, we'll just go through book. It's pretty standard.
Mhm.
We have Titanic, Schmigadoon, Two Strangers, and The Lost Boys. Yeah, we all expected it, and there it was.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a fave?
Probably Titanic. My only issue with Titanic's book right now is once they moved to Broadway, they added a couple of extra bits that I don't think they needed to. The show's now about 10 minutes longer than it was off Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was such a tight 100 off Broadway that now it's about an hour and 50. So that's my only note. Schmigadoon, I think, is cute. I think the arc of Sarah Chase and Alex Brightman makes sense. I have been very open that I always have a hard time with satire / spoof of musical theater because I always find it to be so skin deep that for me and my nerd brain, I'm like, that's not a real thing you're making fun of. Like, and Schmigadoon's whole thing is like, Cinco Paul will always say, like, you know that trope in the Golden Age musicals where like there's a carnival barker who kills himself. I'm like, that's
It's just Carousel.
Not
Yeah.
a trope, just an
Yeah.
example.
It's literally like it's just Carousel and The Music Man, and then like 3 other references.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The opening number is Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That's what that is. Yeah. And then like little pieces of Brigadoon and like I guess Finian's Rainbow sort of sprinkled in there, but it's like little things.
Yeah.
I think my biggest issue is I do wish he had melded a few other Golden Age. If he's going to do a spoofing of Golden Age shows, to have more of them in there and weave it in, I think there's more story opportunity.
Mhm.
I also think that the second act kind of wraps up extraordinarily fast. Like Anna Gasteyer, for all of the fun she is not a real threat to any of the story. It doesn't really matter to Sarah Chase and Alex Brightman's storyline what she does, and then like the threat she poses gets trampled in 2 minutes flat.
Mm-hmm.
But like there are good jokes, and I think that I do, I guess, again, I like their arc, but that's my issue with that show's libretto. Lost Boys, I think, takes a really long time to get to Michael becoming a half vampire. And then the second act, I think, takes such a pivot to camp that I don't super love. And then Two Strangers, I just think should be 90 minutes. I don't think it warrants the 2-act structure. And I also think that they add a couple of details that ultimately go nowhere, like, spoiler alert, Christiana Pitts having banged Dougal's dad and like all that. I'm like, we didn't need it. We didn't need that. And like the whole thing of like, I haven't spoken to my grandma in 3 years, that ultimately doesn't mean anything. It's like, just like, things like that. But yeah. What about you guys? Anyone you're particularly rooting hard for?
I'd like for it to go to Titanic. I think just I think it's the most fun. I think it has the most fun. I think it makes sense the way that they're presenting the story. I think tonally it stays consistent. I just really enjoyed it. And yeah, I have my issues with. I also here's my other Schmigadoon problem, and it's making me sound like I don't like Schmigadoon, and I really loved Schmigadoon. But it's really tough for me to think about the dozens of people who worked on that television show who did all of that writing, and then someone gets to come in and be like, special thanks to you guys, but now I'm the book writer of this. I think stinks. So
Yeah.
that's
I feel you.
that's how I feel about that. I'm like, at least, the people who wrote Titanic are the ones that wrote Titanic, who are
Yeah.
the ones that
Yeah,
are
they're the ones who
nominated.
are credited. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I actually take a little bit of offense to like one person being like, I wrote this, and it's like, kind of.
Yeah,
Sure.
you took what other people wrote, a show that you created that you had help with writers
Yes.
on, and then you take a lot of that material and you boil it down. But yeah, I mean, from what I understand, there's nothing really different from the stage show from the TV show. It's just
N-
cutting stuff
Not
and
enough
whatnot.
for me to go like, that's the person who should singularly win. If it
Hmm.
was him and the team of writers from the TV show, I'd feel differently.
Sure.
But it's not for
Uh,
lack of loving the show. Like, I do really
Right.
love the show. It's just the thought of like one person getting up there and being like, I did this, like, actually really bothers me. So
It's
yeah.
like a
there's
paperwork concern where it's like, no. Like I like what's there. It's
it's
the crediting.
for me, it boils down to labor. It's like,
Yeah.
or like me as somebody who's like worked on a lot of things, who's like perhaps maybe had ideas that I came up with that like other people took credit for. I'm very sensitive to it. So that's kind of like where my head is with that kind of thing.
Can't relate, Rachel. No one's ever done that
I
to
steal
me.
your ideas all the time. I can't come
No,
up with one example to be even funny, but
no. I steal from you guys all the time too, but no,
as you should.
as I should. You guys are so fucking funny. There is sort of a grudge I think we all have when we do something and then like a year later someone takes it and does it like a little different and then gets all this credit for it and you're like, that's not, and not just, I'm talking like social media particularly, but I know you've had projects that you've collaborated on and people have done that too.
Yeah, I mean, social media inherently, there's a lot of like borrowing of ideas and like, like that's what like templates and trends and like that doesn't bother me so much. But like when we're talking about like winning awards, like
Yeah.
getting to say, I wrote the best book of a musical, it doesn't sit quite right with me. And I'm
Yeah.
maybe I'm being too prickly about it. I don't know, but that's just how
No,
I personally feel about it.
too moralistic. No, I hear you, and I think there's something about that for sure. I don't think a lot of people are clocking that right now because they've done such a good job of marketing this as the TV show was Single Paul's brainchild. When the show was running,
Mhm.
he was the one in all the interviews. So it's
Mhm.
the narrative publicly has always been that. But yeah, you're right. Like he didn't write the whole show alone. I'm almost positive. There should be some more acknowledgement of that for sure. I would like
Quite
Titan.
literally like a special thanks in the playbill. And I get that that's part of like the contract that you sign in all of it, but it's just
Yeah.
sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
no,
gotta stop
I
talking
feel you.
about it.
Especially since I don't think that Marla is going to win actress anymore. I would really like them to win book for Titanic, or maybe they don't win book and Marla does surprise with best actress. I don't know. We'll see how the next month goes, but Titanic is my favorite of the librettos of this category for sure.
Mhm.
Moving on. Okay, best performance by an actor in a leading role in a play, and best performance by an actress in a leading role in a play. Will, do you have either of those pulled up for us, sir?
Sorry. Leading actress in a play.
Let's go for it.
We've got Rose Byrne in Fallen Angels. We've got Carrie Coon in Bug. We've got Susanna Flood in Liberation. We've got Leslie Manville in We've got Leslie Manville in Oedipus. We've got Kelly O'Hara in Fallen Angels.
So here's my thing, and then I'm going to hand the floor over to you guys because I only have two things to say. One is Leslie Manville, Leslie Manville, Leslie Manville. Second, there was a lot of talk about, this isn't a Death Becomes Her situation. This isn't a War Paint situation. This isn't a Wicked situation. Rose Byrne's going to get in, but probably not Kelly O'Hara. And I kept saying, I don't see how you nominate one without the other.
Mhm.
I said it multiple times, and that's why I kind of stuck to my guns and said they'll both get in. And motherfucker, they both got in, and I should be listened to far more often. You hear that, Broadway? Hire me for everything. Okay, that's all. Will, Rachel, thoughts?
I co-sign all of that.
Yeah.
I co-sign all of that.
Fallen Angels really is those two, and other characters appear around them, but the crux of it is those two. So,
Mhm.
And who doesn't love Mark Consuelos?
I'm listen. I
heard
would
my
have
mom
a
from the
threesome.
other room laugh.
Listen, I would have a threesome with my best friend if it meant we both got to be with Mark Consuelos. You know what I mean?
Hey! and
That's
who among us didn't watch Riverdale? You know what I mean? It's like good for him.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
I was really happy to see Carrie Coon for Bug. Not that I saw it because I can't do horror on stage unless it's a musical. Quite literally, so many people in my life were like, do not see this play, you will freak out. So I took that advice, including my husband. Thank you, Will. But I do know that what she was doing was extraordinary. Like, I didn't have to see the play to know that, like, Carrie Coon rocks. So I was happy to see her nomination as well.
Same. And we had some guests who were not convinced that she was going to get in. They thought she was sort of on the bubble at like number 6. There was talk of maybe Io getting in for Proof or Lori getting in again for Little Bear Ridge Road. And we'll talk about that in a second as we get to Best Play. But I understood that because I was pretty sure that Little Bear Ridge Road was getting that 4th slot for Best Play. And I was like, I feel like they're going to get Lori in there. So there's some symmetry there. And then when Will Harrison got in for Punch, people were like, oh, well, maybe Punch will get the Best Play nomination. But ultimately, we split the diff. But yeah, I mean, I like the play of Bug. I don't love this production, but Carrie absolutely was the focal point of it and really nailed her assignment for the most part. So I'm happy she's in here for sure. And you know, she was banging that drum about how the world works of like I had to do White Lotus and Gilded Age so I could get this production of Bug greenlit. Not like she didn't sit there with a game plan, but she's like, this production would not have been greenlit for Broadway had I not done
100%.
ITV. Yeah,
It's Ben Platt saying that the Dear Evan Hansen movie would have never gotten made without him. So
yeah, but saying it in a way that we all can understand.
It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah. How many? So you didn't see Carrie, but I know you saw Rose and Kelly. I know you saw Leslie.
We haven't seen Fallen
Liberation?
Angels.
We haven't seen Fallen Angels.
No, but we're going to.
Okay.
And I know the play of Fallen Angels pretty well.
Yeah, you listened to it recently, correct?
I listened to it on Audible has a thing where a lot of plays were recorded for LA Theater Works, and their works cycle through and they're just included, so you can listen to a lot of plays.
This is now suddenly an ad for Audible.
Unfortunately,
the day after the death Bezos Met Ball. That's tough.
So don't subscribe to Audible. Do the free trial and leave. There are many. Yeah. You can create as many email addresses as you'd like.
Yes, and you can support the arts in that way without supporting Bezos. I think that's a wonderful way to go about that. Okay, but so when you see Fallen Angels, you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of not only their performances but also like what they both bring to the table. They're both so incredibly game in this production, and it's going to sound slightly misogynistic, and I don't mean it this way, but there's something really satisfying about watching two stunningly beautiful women who have no problem looking like fools. You know what I mean? Like that lack of vanity. Especially as the play continues. Like when they get to the morning after the debacle between them, they have like these giant hangovers, and the way that they are, I'm like, good for fucking both of you. You are like objectively stunning women, and you're like, yeah, and I'll look like a fucking garbage heap by the end of the show. I don't care. I'm like, yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, Rose Byrne did Bridesmaids, where she was. I mean, yeah, same, but different.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like people sometimes forget how funny she is. People forget about Bridesmaids. People forget about Spy. She's so funny in Spy.
Neighbors 2? What was not Neighbors?
No, she's in both Neighbors. Neighbors and Neighbors 2. Yeah, she's Seth Rogen's wife. Yeah. And this is honestly, I've never totally found Kelly to be like the most humorous person, but I feel like post Days of Wine and Roses, she's in this new renaissance of her career where she's like allowing herself to be messy again
Mhm.
and finding the artistic joy of that.
Mhm.
Because like the Kelly O'Hara who was of like King and I Kiss Me Kate era would not have done this. The Kelly who's done Gilded Age and Days of Wine and Roses is like, yeah, I'm gonna get drunk and sloppy.
Yeah.
And I love her for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. She contains multitudes.
She do. I love my Clara Johnson. And Susanna, she's she's the linchpin of Liberation. I'm glad she's in here. She does beautiful work. Performance by an actor in a play. Okay. Rachel, would you do us the honors and read off, please?
Performance by an actor in a play. Will Harrison, Punch. Nathan Lane, Death of a Salesman. John Lithgow, Giant. Daniel Radcliffe, Every Brilliant Thing. Mark Strong, Oedipus. Really
Yes.
strong. That's a list.
No, it's really.
That's a list.
That's a list. We had a few Discorders who really wanted John Bernthal in there for Dog Day Afternoon. I
did.
understand.
Yeah, I
You
did.
want him? Yeah.
I thought
I
he
understand
did.
that.
I mean, I think if there's any sort of redeeming quality of that whole thing, he was really committed.
Yeah. No, I think he does good work. And I more watched him in that and I felt I want to see you in something better now.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't watch him and go, you're successful. I was like, you have so much potential, you're so committed. Let's get you in something better. Will Harrison in Punch, first of all, is much more of a central performance. Like it's just objectively there's more time on stage, there's more to do. And I mean, say what you will about Punch. Lord knows I have. I found it to be an unsuccessful play. But Act 2, the scene of the four of them in that like group therapy scene, him, Victoria Clark, Sam Robards, and his like therapist or whatever her name is. Did you guys see Punch?
No.
Okay. But you know the premise, right? It's about a punch.
Yes.
What if there was a punch?
Yeah.
Yeah. He punches the dude,
And then
dude dies, he goes to jail for a bit, and then he starts corresponding with the parents of the dude who died. And once he's out of prison and he's rehabilitated, Victoria Clark, the mom, really wants to like have a sit down with him and talk about it all. And so he's there with them and his therapist, or like life coach or whatever she is. And I want to say it's like a 15-minute scene uninterrupted. And it's the only time in the play we have that. And it's just, it's stunning work from everybody. And he doesn't do a lot of talking, but just like, it really fucking moved me. So I'm glad he's in here for that alone. I feel very vindicated because I had been saying that Mark Strong was a lock all season long. He wasn't getting nominated at the Drama Desks or the Drama League, and people were going, oh, I don't know. And I said, no. It's just the logistics of how this is all working out. I'm telling you, he's in. People also were saying, I don't know about Daniel Radcliffe. I'm like, I don't know what we're talking about. Why would it not be
They
Daniel
love him
Radcliffe?
so much.
Well, the thing is, until Merrily, he never got nominated.
Right.
That was his first nomination. But it's sort of like, now that he's won, like the ice is broken.
Yep.
He is beloved in the community.
Yep.
And it's like, this play is all about him. The whole reason this production works is him. Well, not the reason, but you know what I mean? Like I always said, like I said in my live show, which people can buy tickets for the next one in June. But I said, Every Brilliant Thing's about mental health in the way that Little Shop of Horrors is about horticulture. It's not really about that. It's more about like the performer. And Daniel Radcliffe really sells it. So when he got in and Mark Strong got in, I was like, I told you guys all along. Will was the wild card because it could have gone to John Bernthal. There was a world in which Fear of 13 could have gotten in, but ultimately Fear of 13 just got a couple of below the line categories. World in which James Corden could have gotten in for art. Art blanked. In fact, actually, for a quick second, art, Proof, Call Me Izzy, Beaches, Queen of Versailles, and Mamma Mia are our big blankers this season. Punch has the lone nomination, so lovely. Little Bear Ridge Road, the lone nomination. But yeah. What do we, other than John Bernthal, any other thoughts here, babes?
I think that's it. I mean, I'm not sure. Again, I haven't seen Giant or Death of a Salesman, but it kind of feels like it's between the two of them. Is that how people are feeling?
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
it's sort of from what I've been gathering is that Leslie Manville feels like such a lock for Best Actress. And that everyone has sort of decided, like, that's where we're going to honor at Oedipus. So while we love Mark Strong, he's great.
I thought he was superb.
He's wonderful. I mean, I thought Oedipus is one of my favorite things this season.
Same.
But it's not running anymore, and I do think that everyone agrees like Leslie's where we're going to honor that. So now it goes down to okay, Lithgow and Lane. Lithgow kind of is giant. Lane is not the sole thing that makes salesmen succeed. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, how do you vote for Death of a Salesman and not vote for Willie Loman? But there's also precedent for that because Philip Seymour Hoffman didn't win for his revival, but that did win revival. So, it's a lot of different pieces moving about for either narrative. But yeah, I do think it comes down to the two of them for sure.
A coin flip.
A coin flip, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I'm not mad about this category either. Now we have our final big ones. Revival of a musical, Cats the Jellicle Ball, Ragtime, and Rocky Horror Show. Other than the fact that Will didn't do the math on this, I don't think there's any surprises here.
I mean, it's not just Will, though. Like, we were in our live and everyone was like, 3? Only 3? So, I mean, I think
people need to read the goddamn paperwork.
But that's what you're there for, Matt. You needed to let us all know.
I'm sorry. I was doing a live with Casey Balsham of It's Broadway Bitch. I was not invited to your live. I'm so sorry. I should have been there.
Yeah. No. Well, I spoke a lot about that we were about to do the podcast on the live. Yeah. So hopefully the listeners,
so everyone will listen. They'll know.
Shout out to anyone who was on our live, who's here 2 hours and 30 minutes into this.
The way I believe the numbers
this far.
You've made it this far. I believe the numbers go, if it's fewer than 6 contenders, it is 3 nominations.
Okay.
If it's
unless there's a tie.
Yes. If it's more than 6, but below 9, it becomes 4. And then if it's 9 or more, it becomes 5. That is how I think the numbers work.
Okay.
Don't fully quote me on that, but I'm like 89%
We're
sure.
going to have to make an infographic for next year.
There we go. But I think these are our 3. I think Rocky Horror. I had said back in fucking like December or January that like Roundabout really had to shit the bed with Rocky Horror not to get in because Roundabout just has a good relationship with the Tony Awards. They don't always win, but they tend to just get nominated a lot. And Rocky Horror, well, maybe some people are underwhelmed. It's not a shit show. It's still enjoyable in its own right, and clearly people feel the same way because it actually did quite well today. But that's where I was like, guys, I don't think it's chess. I think Cats and Ragtime are like our 2 opponents, and then Rocky Horror is the one that's like, and we're here and we're nice. Best musical. I know it's the big one, but also like no surprises here. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, Will, you were going to say?
Quick question on Rocky Horror. For the 2000 production with everyone, was that also Roundabout, or who was that?
That was a commercial production
Okay, cool.
at Circle in the Square. I think Roundabout that year was Follies. Yes, it was Follies that year for Roundabout.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, Rocky Horror was a
Why did
was
I
a
think it was
commercial
at Studio 54? Okay, no worries.
Wait, can we take a second?
Cabaret was at Studio 54 at that point.
Can we take a second to talk about the possibility of it being 3 Andrew Lloyd Webber in a row? If it's Sunset last year, Cats takes it this year, and Evita takes it next year. Wouldn't that be insane?
It would be epic. I would hope that he would finally be a content and happy man with all of that.
You know damn well. It's a bottomless hole. What are you going to do? You can't fill it. You can't.
I know, but and to quote Lady Gaga, aren't you tired trying to fill that void? But I mean, the thing about Weber, something that Patti LuPone once said that is very true, and I don't often quote her because, while she has done a lot for this world, she's also a demon twink.
And who among us?
Who amongst us? That's our spirit animal. She said, Weber always wanted Sondheim's acclaim and Sondheim wanted Weber's money. And so like Weber, for all of his financial success and like shows all around the world, it always bothered him that especially on Broadway, he was never credited as an actual artist. And he wanted that approval. And I do think like the Sunset Revival win was very that helped him a lot. I know he didn't really care for that revival, but he liked what it did for his reputation. I do know that he likes this revival of Jellicle Ball. He's like fully supportive of it. He's out there promoting it. If that wins, like that's a kind of reclamation for him. So yeah, I would hope that he would kind of go, oh, I'm glad that my fuck around and find out era is paying off. Like he's finally allowing people to play with his shows and it's turning really well for him.
Mm-hmm. You know, the moment that I think that started was when they reopened Phantom on Broadway and he was DJing outside and he played Who Let the Dogs Out. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm talking about?
You know exactly what you're talking about.
I said I think that's the moment everything changed. I think that actually like ripped a new timeline. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, now we're gonna get weird with it.
Yeah. He did that for the day and he went, what is that thing I felt yesterday? And someone went, fun? He's like, yes, fun. Should we try that some more?
And Jamie Lloyd was like, hold my beer.
No, Jamie Lloyd was like, hold my ayahuasca.
hold my bucket of goop.
Hold all of my paint and my cum.
Hey. And we love it. Listen, Jamie, if you're listening, we love it.
You know, Jamie was like, you take my goo, I'm taking your pants. Here we go. See,
It works.
Okay, you guys think I'm a creep. I like to see my men in pants. Jamie Lloyd likes to see his men without pants. It's fine.
And who am I to judge?
We're happy. Yeah.
Men Without Pants, they're the group that did the safety dance? No.
So best musical.
Bye. Have a good
Goodbye.
I think we can just say this really quickly.
Yes,
it's
sorry.
Best musical is Agatha All Along, Lost Boys, Schmigadoon, Titanic, Two Strangers. No surprises. We all knew this. Same thing with best play. Honestly, for me, Ballister's Giant Liberation, Little Bear Ridge Road. There was a world in people thought maybe Punch could get in there, especially when Will Harrison got the actor nomination. I thought maybe that could happen. Ultimately, again, Agatha All Along. Of all the new plays, Little Bear Ridge Road, technically speaking, had the best reviews of the season.
But closed early.
So well, I mean, I didn't love it myself, but like I didn't hate it. I was a little baffled by how strong the reviews were. But yeah, I think it's a nice little honoring of a little show and Samuel Hunter's Broadway debut. So yeah, I don't know. Was there anything here that you thought might get in that didn't?
No, I don't think so. Did you, Will?
No, this is...
Will was like, I'm sorry, where's the Call Me Izzy love?
We missed that one.
With Little Bear Ridge Road, I'm surprised. I think it's the first adaptation of a Nick Jr. property to win, to get nominated for Best New Play.
Think Bear in the Big Blue House.
Maurice Sendak's Little Bear Ridge Road.
Oh, Little Bear.
Because they're telling you where he is. Little Bear.
Little Bear. Sorry. Wrong bear.
Yeah.
Wrong bear.
Well, listen, I can't wait for the porno of that Little Bear Ribbed Road.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. But Mike, I think on 3 different occasions today have I actually gotten Will like I got him good, and
I couldn't see that coming.
Well, that's
it was
part
so
of the
stupid.
film.
You don't see it coming. Woo.
Hello.
Hello.
How do we feel about the Pulitzer of it all?
With Liberation? I mean, I think it's a lovely Pulitzer win, and I do think that ultimately is going to help them. Pulitzer winners have not always won Best Play, and I think Purpose is the first Pulitzer winner to win play in, like 14 years. I think Clybourne Park might have been the last Pulitzer winner to win Best Play. Oftentimes, the Pulitzer winner, if they're nominated for play, they won like for their off-Broadway round, and then they come back a year or two later, and like the buzz has gone, bloom is off the rose. Yeah, like between Riverside and Crazy, Cost of Living. But no, I think that Liberation winning while it's running really helps it, especially since it was really well liked, but it is closed, and I think that I think it just helps their momentum for sure. I think if anything were to beat it, I personally think it would be Ballister's.
Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah, and Ballister's I think is an awesome play. It doesn't, and it deals with big issues like Liberation, but deals with it in a much more satirical, I think, digestible way. And I know some people who were kind of miffed by how messy Liberation was as a play in terms of what it does with timeline and what it does with the fourth wall. I really liked that. I thought that made it actually more interesting and less sort of like after school special. But some people like the after school special of it all. But no, I think I'm talking too much. I think it's just Liberation.
Not at all. I asked. Please.
I know, but
On a
I'm just,
podcast?
I'm on my right in front of my salad. I'm on my second coffee. Whatever. Yeah, I think Liberation's the Agatha.
And the Ballisters, he wrote really recently, right? Like this was like it was like quick. So I feel like to have written something that quick, get it up so quick, and then win would be fun. Like just like
It would be fun.
like it's like a runaway train of just like an idea in the right time in the right place kind
Yeah.
of thing.
I think if he had not won 2 Tonys for Kimberly Akimbo, there would be a bit more of a push for it to win to finally get David Lindsay a Bear a Tony Award.
Mm-hmm.
But because he has the 2 for Kimberly Akimbo, I don't think that narrative is going to hold as much water.
Does he have
Did
it
he
for the
win for Rabbit
play
Hole?
and the musical? Is that what it is?
No, just the musical. Because he won for book and for score with Janine.
Oh, because did he do lyrics?
Mm-hmm.
How do I not remember that? That's wild.
David Lindsay Bear is secretly a really fucking good lyricist.
Yeah.
I love his lyrics for Shrek.
I was going to
think
say
they're-
Shrek for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Baller.
so fun.
Yeah, he's real good. But yeah, so
The
he has
book
those
for
2
High
Tonys.
Fidelity.
Oh yeah, he did do High Fidelity. Did he wait?
But
Did he
just
write
the book.
He wrote just the book, yeah, because Amanda Green did the lyrics.
Yes.
I hate my brain. So here's the
Yeah.
final category.
Please.
It's not necessarily as like headline grabbing as musical or whatever, but I actually think it's the most interesting revival of a play.
Mhm.
We have Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, Becky Shaw, no surprises there. Every Brilliant Thing, that was a surprise. That kind of
Mhm.
came out of left field for me. Fallen Angels, not a surprise, but I wasn't quite sure it was going to happen. And then Oedipus, absolutely no surprise. I do think this falls down to Salesman and Oedipus. But before I say that, I mean, I'm happy Becky Shaw is in here. I'm glad that show is getting more recognition. I wish it had done a little bit better today, but ultimately I think the 2 most important things, Alden and the production itself, are recognized. Fallen Angels is a fun little one. I think the play is kind of like a delightful little nothing, and the production doesn't really make it any better other than just sort of tightening it up. But it is just a really nice, fun time. And then Every Brilliant Thing is like a really lovely community building exercise. But I just, when we're talking about theater and playwriting and art, I'm just like, Marjorie Prime, guys, come on. You got June and Danny in there. Just go the extra mile. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I wonder what the thought process was with that.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't know.
maybe the votes just got spread so thin because there's so many great options.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
There could be recency bias. Every Brilliant Thing is running. I mean, other than Oedipus, the rest of these guys are running right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
And Oedipus.
No Joe Turner, which is a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I was surprised.
But
By
not a
that.
surprise. Yeah, I, as I said, I wasn't in love with it, but I kind of had it on there just for being open recently. It got reviewed really well, and when I was seeing all the the below the line nominations, I was like, oh, I think this might happen. But then ultimately it didn't. Thoughts on this category, y'all?
No, I think it's great. In my perfect world, Oedipus takes it, but I know because it's the one that's closed. That's just probably the least likely thing to happen. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah. Stranger Things First Shadow. I do think that if it's not Salesman, it is Oedipus. I think it has it over. I mean, first of these 5, only Salesman and Oedipus have director nominations, which is a huge indicator of 1000%
Of the temperature.
Yes. And also, if someone's ever kind of on the fence of where to vote for, they will sometimes go like, well, we are looking at this director. So I have to, because when you are looking at the nominations and you're voting, you are taking into account, okay, Robert Ick's direction and so-and-so is acting, like that all helps you with revival. Whereas Becky Shaw, you're only really allowed to think about Alden when it comes to voting somewhere else. Fallen Angels, Kelly and Rose in the design, Every Brilliant Thing, Daniel. So because there are so many other elements of Salesman and Oedipus that voters have to take into account, I do think that helps those shows' cases for voters voting for them for revival. Yeah. I mean, RIP Proof, I'm glad that it's on Broadway. I'm glad that AO's taken a swing. RIP Art, you recouped. I'm solely talking about the people that blanked today.
Yeah.
Call Me Izzy, Gene Smart, You Will Always Be Famous, but we're happy that Hacks is back on TV. Beaches, we're happy that Vosk is opening an original show and getting a lead performance. Kelly Barrett, You Will Always Look Like Betty Gilpin to me, and I mean that with the highest of compliments.
Aren't you the one that
are
said you want
beautiful.
them in Sideshow together?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. I just watched that show. I'm like, that's Betty Gilpin. But
Almost.
Queen of Versailles, I will always sing Caviar Dreams. Now that I have it in a key that I can sing, I like that song a lot. And then Mamma Mia, You'll Always Make Me Happy. Here we go again.
Here we go
Yeah.
again.
I didn't realize that was the hat I'm wearing.
Oh,
Is the
look at her.
Mamma Mia Metallica hat.
Rachel, now that we've come through all of these nominees, how are we feeling about this upcoming Tonys? What categories are we most excited to see shake up?
I mean, I can't wait to see what's taking musical.
Mm-hmm.
That's always so huge. I don't know. I think it was an interesting year in the sense that there were less sort of across the board, which somehow made it, I don't know, more interesting to see who was actually going to get nominated. Because I feel like in years past, especially last year with how many musicals we had, it truly was like anything could happen and kind of did. And just with fewer options this year, it was interesting to see like what really did break through and where and when and how. So I'm excited. We definitely have to go and see at the very least the revivals that we're missing for sure. So I can have like a really full what am I trying to say? Yeah, perspective. Thank you. Perspective of what's going on. And then I would like to get to the plays as well. I just don't know if we're gonna have time. But anyway, hey,
You'll figure it out. It's fine.
Yeah. So we're working girls at night, so it's tough. I don't know. How do you feel, Will?
I'm excited to see how Best Featured Actress in a Play turns out, because I'm like, I'm excited to be like, who's gonna be like, it's fun when it's competitive. I'm looking forward to that.
You know what
I'm looking forward to
about,
Best Musical.
and we didn't talk about this at all. I'm excited
What?
Pink's hosting. I know that's controversial. I'm excited that Pink's hosting because Pink cares, and I would rather a famous person who's enthusiastic about theater host than almost anybody else. So that's fine. Just
yeah.
get people
when
to
it was
watch.
announced, she'll get people to watch. It was such an out of left field announcement that it took me about 48 hours to have it settle in. But I love her. I think she's talented and smart and funny, which is all things you want for a host. I mean, I was not even sure about Cynthia last year. I was like, is Cynthia going to be funny? And she ended up.
It was great.
Yeah, she did a great job. So I don't know. I think Pink's can have a lot of fun ideas. I don't need the Tonys to be the MTV Movie Awards or anything like that. I need it to be exciting for theater fans, and I need it to breed more theater fans. That's all I want it to do. And I think that Pink can help with that. There's nothing wrong with loving something open-heartedly, you know?
She just bought, I think, like a townhouse in New York because her daughter wanted to be closer to theater. That's the
What a fucking queen.
That's the kind of energy I want. I was like, talk to your mother, don't talk to me. I'm excited she's hosting. So there's that.
Yeah,
I'm excited to tune in to see Pink host the Tony Awards.
I'm excited to see what performances we're going to do. I'm imagining Ragtime's going to do Make 'Em Hear You, or maybe they'll do new music and he'll do the Sarah Come Down to Me.
I could see that.
I mean, if nothing else, they'll do it as a bit.
1,000%.
With him and Sarah Chase being nominated? I'm just saying. If they're not going to do it as the performance, they'll definitely do it as a bit.
They'll definitely do it as a bit. With Josh Henry and Sarah Chase. Jellicle Ball, since we don't have Emma Sophia nominated for Skimbleshanks, I say honor that bitch and have them do Skimbleshanks as their Tony performance. That's my big one. Rocky Horror, okay, I'll say this. I actually think that the best number they have in terms of performance and staging is over at the Frankenstein Place. It's so fun and well done, and I would love for them to do that, but they probably won't. They'll probably do Time Warp. And then Fallen Angels, I think Fallen Angels should do a bit. I think Kelly and Rose need to do some version of their getting progressively drunker scene, constantly trying to answer the phone. Kelly grabbing Rose's dress and Rose not knowing that Kelly's grabbed it and walking, and Kelly getting dragged over the couch and onto the stage. It's just like
Fun.
Fun. Gilded Age wishes they could do that for her. They wish.
And maybe someday.
Someday. Now that her character is fully divorced and free, she'll get drunk and get dragged over a couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should all be so lucky.
We should all be so lucky. I'm really excited for this. Have you guys made your Tony plans yet? Do you know what you're going to do?
I'm working. So I am informally, it's not like really an announcement or anything, but I, as Rachael, not as the Theater Lovers, am working the Tonys this year.
Well, fuck my drag.
So
Okay.
guess who's back in the house?
Heels click clacking about.
Yeah.
No, that's phenomenal.
I can't
Fantastic.
speak
Congrats.
too much to like what I'm doing, but I am I'm formally working, but I'm as me, not as the Theater Lovers. It's like a separate entity.
Yes.
Asterisk.
If Alden needs a seat warmer for him, you know where to call.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got your number.
Yeah. That's really exciting. Congrats. I'm really
yeah. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the work, so it's fun.
As long as it's about the work. Well, guys, this has been amazing. Where can people find you if you want them to find you?
You want to take it, Will?
We are on Instagram at _theater_lovers. We sell merch at thetheaterlovers.com. We sell a lot of things that look like other things.
Like Will's hat
bag,
right now.
Like my hat right now that says Mamma Mia and it looks like the Metallica logo. The Seinfeld logo, but it says Sondheim. It's very
Things
niche,
like that.
and it's going to make someone in the train go, wait, what? At your shirt.
Platforms, you can find us Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, which you might be watching right now. Threads, Facebook, if that's your jam. And then shortly we're going to be on Substack. So
love
look
that.
out for that.
Excited for you guys.
Thank you.
Yes. Y'all, if you want to follow me, I am on Instagram at MacCoplick usual spelling. If you like the podcast, give us a nice 5-star rating or review. We had a whole slew of them recently, and now we've been drying up. So y'all, come on, give me a couple more reviews to read via the Light in the Piazza Overture. You can also give us a rating on Spotify. You can join us on YouTube. We've been increasing our viewership on that, which is really exciting. We have the Substack, the Discord. You can join either of those if you so choose. There's something else. Oh, our next live show, June 1st, which is a Monday night at Green Room 42, the slightly early Tony Awards show. We are, I'm like 2 days past our last show, but I'm giving myself like another 24 hours, and then I'm going to start planning this June show. Get your tickets for that. It's going to be fucking fun. Rachael.
Yes.
You know the drill. We close out with a diva. I'm sure you.
Diva.
We got it. Yeah. Who do you want our diva to be today?
You know, what if we did a Jessica Vosk? Is she too?
Yeah.
Is she too contemporary, or should we go further back in the archives?
No, if she's relevant. We might as well honor her since she didn't get her nomination today. So yeah, let's let the Vosk have a moment in the sun. Yeah, but not Leah Michelle. I can't tell if Rachel's frozen or she just. Oh, I think Rachael froze. I think I froze Rachael. Okay, we're going to close out with Jessica Vosk. I'm going to close this out now before anything else goes wrong. Rachael, I love you. Will, I love you. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Thank you. And take it away, Jessica. Bye.
Past the thinking, past the breathing, past the beating of